What's up, people? Happy Sunday. We up in here.
Happy
Okay.
Sunday.
What's good, folk?
What's up? How's y'all's weekend been?
Weekend's been good. It's Sunday. Hopefully everybody's repenting from all the tricking they've been doing on the Sunday.
I know that's right.
RG, you repented this Sunday?
Oh no, not from tricking, not from tricking. Maybe a few other things. I've been dibbling and dabbling, but not the
Not from
trick,
the tricking.
not the tricking.
Okay. I don't have to repent from no bad stuff. I actually was a pretty decent woman this week, so it was a good weekend for me though. Really good weekend.
Well, that's good.
That's
I'm
good. Yeah.
about to kick off a whole nother one, but the 304's is definitely in the building, so it's a good topic.
The
They
304 supremacy is in
they
full effect.
they
Oh
running
my
things.
God, not the 304 supremacy chat. You know they say we the ops. We the ops. Oh gosh. Well, it's interesting because we don't really have a certain what's the, you know how you had like do a couple things and then you start the show. We don't really have a format yet. That's the word I was looking for. We don't necessarily have a format yet, but we're going to dive off into this topic. So I do want to make an announcement in case you guys have not heard. I am doing masculinity coaching. I am doing masculinity coaching. If you need a consultation, my IG is listed up here. I only charge like $600 an hour. That's a really, really great price considering all the great advice I can give. So if you know of anybody that needs any masculinity coaching, I am definitely available for you guys. And I'm at your service. So I just wanted to put that out there. You guys got anything that you want to make an announcement about?
No, I don't have any announcements at the moment. How about you, RG?
Man, I mean that was actually news to me. So the masculinity coaching is definitely needed. So you should have plenty of clients out here. There should be plenty of clients. Oh man,
Yeah, so Tech is
we'll have enough
Fashion TV.
show.
I am here for you guys. If you need me, hit my IG. It's only $600 an hour. That's it. That's a steal. I mean, we can do some great things together. I don't take payment plans. I need all of my money up front. Just like how you're used to paying. Never mind. But, you know, yeah, let's
Cheaper than that passport situation. It's cheaper to stay local.
y'all gonna get up off my SYSBMs. They trying to save themselves. But have you guys ever been in a situation where you really had the woman under control and then the next thing you know, them tables turn? Like when a woman is she doesn't think that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread and you're doing the chasing and running behind her. Have you guys ever been in a situation where the tables turned on you?
You can't control no hoes, man. You know that.
Yeah, that's where they go wrong to begin with.
Why do they go wrong? Y'all don't really think that a hoe could be under control? Y'all don't think that?
A hoe ain't supposed to be controlled. You're supposed to let her do what she do. But you're definitely supposed to have her in pocket if you're gonna be dealing with her. How you start is how you finish. I live and die by that. You know, she gonna get out of the situation where she's supposed to get out of it. And when you out here simping or tricking, then she gonna stay winning as she should.
And she going to change up because when you try to make the hoe the housewife, because we know that goes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Switch up because you can't make the hoe the housewife.
So, I've known of some hoes to get married, right? And it seems like the hoes tend to hold on to their men better than the quote unquote good girls. Have you guys ever heard of that before?
Yeah, because
Definitely.
yeah, because it seemed like the hoes are never without a relationship. Now, what kind? Now that we can discuss that, but they're never without a relationship or a guy. So yeah, that makes sense to me.
Mm. Um, Hold up. There's something that I want to pull up really, really quick, so I can read it and we can discuss it. I thought it was really, really interesting. And let's get it pulled up. All right, let's share the screen. Screen, Chrome tab. Bam. Share. There we go. Can you guys see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I saw this post on Facebook and I thought it was really, really interesting. I do want to know you guys' thoughts, but I'll read it to you guys. And it says, so I see the consensus is Jada is a hoe, but I thought hoes were losing. Jada got one of the most wealthiest black men in all of Hollywood wrapped around her pinky finger, ready to go to war over her with just an eye roll from her. In the meantime, a lot of you so called good women paying up to $30,000 to learn how to be a housewife to a nignog that barely makes 50K a year, maybe it ain't your femininity that needs work. First of all, I want to know what y'all think about that statement initially. What do y'all think about that?
I always think it's interesting when women, if that's a woman that made this post.
Yes.
I always think it's interesting when women equate how good a man is by how much money he has. First of all, I just wanted to point that out. But second, Jada really doesn't have all that they believe she has because she is lacking integrity and her whole overall reputation is being tarnished, whether people want to accept that or not. She's married to somebody by law, but she's still out here hoeing. She's still for the streets. And if that's the type of title she want to wear on her jacket, more power to her. I don't know why Will's sticking around, but her as an individual, she looking soggy out here. It's not a good look for Jada Pinkett, who's supposed to be up on a pedestal right now at this point in her career, and just as a black woman, period. You know how they say black girl magic. I mean, what does it actually stand for anymore when you're out here dick hopping from dick to dick? It just seemed to me that she playing herself. But yeah, everything else
But this
where's
is
that
the
money?
thing that I find interesting because to me and to a lot of other women, to most women, hell, most men, Jada's still winning. And it's amazing because Jada is still out here doing exactly what she wants to do while maintaining her household. And I don't know, it's interesting. It's interesting. Then it's something you said that I found interesting too, RG, was that you said it's interesting how women will relegate a man's money to the guy being a good man. But don't you think that men do that more than anybody? Like, it seems like men kind of admire other men with money more
Well,
so.
yeah, I agree. I think everybody does it because you can equate somebody's success and their accomplishments with the type of money that they've been able to accrue throughout their career. So I get that part. But as far as how somebody treats you and what your relationship is actually like with that person, it has to be more than just a superficial everything, at face value as far as their profile. Like I don't see them as having a good relationship. So one thing that Jada does not have, in my opinion, is the ability to keep a home. And it looked like she's at least making an attempt. So she's failing at that, if you ask me.
You're saying keeping a home because then if we're really looking at it and she's still able to maintain a marriage and the girl did point out something she received Will caught a glance of Jada rolling her eyes, and Will took off running like he was a pit bull.
Yeah, but see, the way, I mean, it's really inexplicable why Will is still there. Unless, even if this is an open marriage, because I know we had this discussion before, and I'm still on the fence. I'm not sure if it's exactly an open marriage, but let's just say for S and G's that it is an open marriage. Will is clearly not appreciating Jada putting everything out in public and telling the world all about that. So she's disrupting the household and the kids and everybody. If they're all on the same page, then his behavior is definitely, I can't understand his behavior while he's getting upset when he's finding out that she's doing what they've agreed on. But if they have an agreement, obviously the behaviors that she's displaying in public are having an adverse effect on Will. So if she's not really concerned with that, then I would say she's really struggling at least keeping a household intact. Either she need to leave the situation because he can't handle their agreement, or she's doing something that's outside of their agreement. But either way, you got to say that something has to be problematic.
But you know what? I see in the comments they saying $30,000 to be a housewife to a nignog, who barely makes 50,000 or stuff like that. Maybe it's not your femininity that needs work, and I can agree with that because I don't go to the bargain basement, right, hoping to find a designer item. So in a sense, I equate that to in the sense of choosing the best partner, right? So I will say that Jada did choose a good mate, right? Chose the best partner, but a lot of men saying that he didn't choose better because he chose Jada. In a sense that she always had this kind of hood persona, the around the way girl, bamboo earrings, at least two pair, right? That's always
Mm-hmm.
been her persona, and a lot of people have always loved that from her because she was down to earth. But now they're having an issue with it, right? There's an issue that, well, Will, why didn't you choose better? Will chose her for a particular reason, and they're getting on Jada for the most part because they don't like Jada. They're like, Will, you can do better. You can do better. Jada has always been Jada. Jada has always been who she was, from her movies to her to the sitcoms. Jada has never changed.
What I find interesting too is the fact that Jada has been Jada and Will is still there. Do men get into a situation to where they think that other men don't want to be in those situations? However, henpecked, feminine behaving, we think Will has acted or is, he's still choosing to remain in a situation that he does not have to be in. But if he's remaining there, why are so many men up in arms about a man being with a henpecked woman? Let a lot of y'all tell it. A lot of y'all granddaddies and daddies were also henpecked and didn't run y'all's household. So I'm like, what's the big deal now?
I would have to ask the question that we all, I mean, it's the elephant in the room. What does Will actually have to lose since we're talking about money? If he does leave Jada, does he end up paying millions of dollars a year or even a month? I don't know. I mean, I know he's holding like a $500 million over there. So what's the support agreement looking like? Maybe he talked to his lawyers and they said, she got you by the balls.
You know what? You would hope that that would probably be like the real live issue, but we don't know. Hold on, let me see. Shout out to All Seeing Eye. He says the answer is in plain sight. Women. Oh wait, women date men who you're not all the way attracted to, so leave the housewife jokes at your 9 to 5. It ain't hard. Um Now that's an interesting thing too, because do y'all think that Jada was really into Will when she got with him? A lot of people are saying no.
No, I think Jada does like Will. I think she just like a lot of other people too. And in real time, that's a lot to deal with at this age. And I guess he probably figured she was going to not be for the streets when she 50 years old. So she doing what she does when we 30. 20 something years old, and that's probably what attracted him to her in part.
You
But
know
now
what?
it's just like, damn, you still out here and you smashing the little kids that's coming over to play with toys with Jaden over here. So it's kind of like, it's a bad look.
See, I think that this family have some deep dark secrets. I truly believe that. Like, there's been chitter chatter, about even Jada going both ways and even Will Smith going both ways. And I think they're
Mm-hmm.
not separating because of those deep dark secrets. And I believe that we're not privy to that information, but they do exist. And I believe if they were to split and it does get out, what's really going on, I think people will be really shocked
If
at
they
the happenings. Yeah.
if they go both ways, or if it's an open relationship, I personally don't have any issue with people living their life the way they want to live it. As long as they have an agreement and all the cards are turned up, it should be cool. But again, Will is smacking Chris Rock at the Oscars, and I think he has an issue with everything being made public. Maybe he just don't want her to go out and let the whole world know that she's smashing August Alsina, because it seems as though that's when the problems come out into public, when
Yeah,
she
I
just
agree.
tell everybody everything. So
Yeah.
they probably been kicking it like this the whole time they've been together because they into what they into. But
Yeah.
you never really hear Will Smith coming out and saying, "Hey, I got this young little baddie right here, and we're gonna be at this club, and we're gonna be all over town." And he don't even care what Jada think about it. It's kind of disrespectful.
You have a point, but then the problem that I have with it, okay, even if it's at a point of disrespect and if it's disrespectful, why isn't he checking her? Why isn't he putting his foot down and saying, no, we're not going to air this out on Red Table Talk. No, we're not going to put this on Front Street. Yes, we can hire a publicist. We can do something to cover it up. Maybe make August Alsina sign another non disclosure agreement. But anything but to participate in it. And he's been one of the main, she'll get out there and talk her shit, but he's also participating in that. To get on national TV to do an interview about your woman actually having a entanglement and telling you that she just wanted to feel good. That's what she sat up there and told this man on national TV, and he sat there and he took it. And so then she gives him a glance and he goes and slaps Chris Rock. It's like, is he under a spell? Like, what the hell is going on?
I believe like Will Smith and Jada, they're no different than anybody else. Most people have some skeletons in their closet, right? Some may, open the door, maybe one or two bones. Some people, you open that door, they all fall out. So I know a lot of people look at them and they want to, to judge them because it's in the public, it's on the media. But if people were honest, everybody has some kind of skeletons in their closet that they're not proud of. If we were to be honest.
That's an interesting point. Shout out to Melody Speaks Network. She says, tough talk. Hey, everybody hit the like button. Thank you so much, Melody. We really appreciate it. You guys hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We come with some other shit. But y'all have anything else? Because I do want to get back to reading the article.
No, but that should be
No,
a
no,
good
go
show. We should do a show on that. Let's talk about those skeletons in your closet and let everybody jump
Girl.
on. That would be a show for days. But go ahead, continue.
Listen, it'll be a lot of people exposing a lot of people, because people generally don't expose themselves unless there's a threat to somebody exposing them. At least, and then I think you'd actually be better off. But that's just me.
Yeah, that
Uh,
that body count going to fall out out that locker room. It's going to be a locker room closet.
whew,
There's going to be
whew.
too many skeletons falling out that body count situation.
True indeed.
So the lady goes on and she says, it's a shame a lot of black women are chastising Jada when baby girl, you can't even get your guy to give you gas money. You're out here desperate enough to go on coffee dates so you won't seem too much. That is something that I wanted to break down. RG, were you taking women on coffee dates?
I never really been into the whole dating thing. I mean, as far as like if I'm with a woman that I already been dealing with, then we'll probably start going out a couple times after like maybe a few months or so. But when I first meet a woman, I really am, ever since probably college, I just completely stopped going on dates with women to gain their interest. But if I like you already and you already rocking with me, then we probably just gonna do what I was doing today to have fun anyway. And we do that together. But it's a coffee date and all that. Nah, I never was into that.
Naima, what about you? Have you ever been into the coffee dates type of deal?
Nah, I don't do the coffee dates. I feel as though like if you want to meet up, because I shared this too. I'm open about that. I was doing some online dating and stuff like that, and for me, I would rather just get to know the person. Let's chit chat. We chit chat and have a good conversation, and we've grown to okay. Let's set up a date. At that point, we're interested in each other, and we want to go ahead with that date. That's the coffee dates. Nah, I'm a busy woman. I don't. The coffee dates is not me. I'll be honest. No for me. It's a no for me. The coffee date.
I thought the coffee dates were a bit weird. But I think that I'm older and I feel like I've grown up in a different time zone. But the coffee dates to me were weird because you actually had a courting period where you would talk on the phone and you would get to know each other and you'd ask a bunch of questions. But then now you're into like the age of social media. Everybody's trying to get together as quickly as possible. Guys are trying to have sex as quickly as possible. And I don't even know what the goal is of women nowadays because you saying a lot of women saying that they don't desire marriage. A lot of them don't even require a date. So like with the coffee date things, it's kind of interesting to me because I've never been into it, but I know a lot of women who would accept a coffee date and kind of make excuses for the guys, but I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Like, what's like you're scared to spend 40 $50 to go to your local Applebee's or Chili's or Fridays or something. Like, what's the problem? And then if you're dating costs money, but it just seems like so many guys don't want to get played and they feel like they'll invest a lot into these chicks and there's no return on investment. So I thought that was really interesting.
If I met a woman online, I'm not taking her nowhere. We're not going
Why
anywhere.
not?
I don't want to
You
meet.
said I'm not looking at her nowhere.
I really don't want to meet a woman online that I want to get to know. If I meet you online, I'm literally trying to figure out what we gonna get into before you come. We ain't gonna be no small talk. Cause what am I? This is a person I just met online. I don't even know this person, so I'm not interested at all in taking her nowhere in public, especially. I met you online. What's up with the what's up? Or
What
I'm
you
swipe,
mean? What's up with the
or I'm
what?
just
What's the what's
swiping,
up?
But you know
or
what? But to RG's point, I get it because you have like this Tinder kind of apps that people sign up for free. I'm speaking specifically that you have to spend money on, like so you have to you spend your money on to do that. So a little bit more upward scale dating, not just a regular free sign in. Because to
yeah,
me, yeah, that free sign in, I do get it. So I understand your point on that. So I'm definitely not knocking that. I get your point.
yeah, I understand where you're coming from too, and I know how other people use these sites, but I wouldn't pay to be on any of these sites, first of all. But if I was paying, I would still have the same attitude because that would literally be the only reason I would be on there. Because it's a person that you don't know anything about this person. So it's pretty much like meeting somebody at the stoplight or at the coffee shop or wherever, somebody you just walked up to and just met. So I'm not looking for a relationship of any kind with somebody that I just met. We probably gonna get into something, or it's just gonna be nothing after the first couple of days because I'm not even taking that serious.
Yeah. Well, that's a great point, but we don't want to get off in the weeds about what about the dating site or
But
whatever. But let's talk about the statement, because the statement was saying basically, and this comment, stop chastising, Jada, when you know that you can get your man to even get you gas money. So, and I think that will go in line with the coffee date, right? What are you accepting? What kind of standards are you having? What are standards you setting for yourself? And I'm not knocking the coffee date. If people want to do the coffee date, to each his own.
I'm
It's all
knocking
about
it.
it. Well, listen, I won't do it, but if someone else wants to do it, then hey, a lot of people have like to go to a nice coffee shop, right? And drink. I don't drink coffee anyway, but and to have their cup of Joe over a conversation. So I'm not knocking it. I'm only saying that I'm not into it. But the point I'm trying to make is, what is your standard? What standards are you setting for yourself? And that's established from the beginning. Everything you do from the beginning sets up the duration of the relationship. So
I think you have a really good point. The girl did make a point about not trying to seem like too much. So it's women who will downgrade themselves or put themselves in a lower position to actually get the man. But then at the same token, to me, that seems a bit manipulative because you actually want more out of a situation, but you'll settle for something and expect reciprocation on the back end. So I think that's interesting too. Shout out to All Seeing Eye. They said when a woman is into you, she's coming straight to the crib or only drink dates. Damn, All Seeing Eye, you got them like that? Okay. So let me get back to the article. Okay. You're calling into these relationship guru shows asking these fools for advice only for them to make a complete ass out of you. Jada out here living her best life, ain't ever got to work again for her the rest of her natural life, and can get good D when she wants. Women are just jealous that they ain't got the sauce, and men are just mad because they can't get the sauce. Oh, child. Um,
there's some truth to that. There's some truth to that.
no,
it
yeah.
is. It's definitely some truth to it. Definitely some truth to it. But is this true for the everyday average woman and the everyday average man?
I think it could be. I think it could be true, but everybody got to live in their truth. If is your situation going to be accepting to this in your household? Because you might want everything under the sun, but if your man or your woman ain't with it, and y'all didn't have this agreement like Will and Jada, then you can't just spring that on somebody 10, 15 years down the line in a relationship. So obviously, if you ain't living that way now, if you were living that way now, you wouldn't be jealous. So the people who actually don't, and you're in a monogamous relationship, shit, I guess if you're really interested in a relationship like what Will and Jada has, then you probably need to leave where you are because you for the streets. You might as well just go ahead and live your life.
Has Do you think Will is at a point that he's saying that he's accepted that he likes a certain type of woman? And yeah, I want to know about that first, that he's accepted that he's into a certain type of woman.
I don't think Will has a choice in the matter specifically with Jada because she just a strong personality and she got Will wrapped around her finger. And this letter right here, this post, that was the one thing that's as true as anything. So when you got the simping over there, Will over there simping, and you got Jada, who's this strong personality, and I don't even think she's possessive because from what I believe, she didn't let Will go ahead and do what he want to do for real. So it's just the effect that. Jada has on Will. You know, you can't really just, you know, it's a case by case thing. Will just met his match.
Mm, that's really, really interesting. Naima, what are your thoughts?
Um, I think that I would agree that a lot of women are jealous of other women's relationship, especially when they do better. We know that, like we can see it on the gram or the Facebook when a woman is getting gifts and purses and shoes, and we're like, how you get that? Oh, she got, the chitter chat. Oh, how she got that man? Oh, how she do this? Oh, she do this because of that, and all of that. So there is a bit of a jealousy when it comes to what another woman can could obtain from other men, for sure, and that's always going to be the case. That's never going to change.
Do y'all feel like Will Smith is being dick police?
In what way? What do you mean? Because I mean,
This is the thing. If a man is in a situation and no matter what he has gone through, he has continued to remain in that situation, I think black men are turning into like black women and their bitter ass friends. Like, if a girl was getting cheated on and a woman would tell that girl to leave a relationship, most men would have a problem with that. And they would tell that girl, your friend needs to mind her business. Y'all need, she need to stay in her place. It's not her place. I feel like black men are trying to dick police Will because Will is in a situation to where it may not be the type of happiness that we would all look for, but if he's still continuing to remain in that situation, I mean, it's freaking Will Smith. Will Smith is not going to ever be broke again. So I just kind of feel like it's a point to where black men are actually trying to dick police Will and trying to tell Will what he needs to do and how he needs to run his household, what you would take in your household. But a lot of the men that's talking don't even have women to even say what he should take.
But you know what? It's funny because, and you brought up the policing part because, I'm reading anti-social socialite comment. She says, "I don't, I don't like feeling like I owe people something. So an inexpensive date at a nice coffee shop is fine for me." And there are a lot of people who don't mind a coffee shop because, it's there are a lot of cute coffee shops. So in that sense, everyone is not going to say that, oh, I don't want a coffee shop. There's a bunch of people who do like the coffee shop. I think what happens is it comes to a point of when the man wants the woman who who may not be acceptable of a coffee shop. They want to make her go to the coffee shop when she don't want to. And I think that if we just find people who like what we like or we like similar things, it will click better. That puzzle piece will fit. But a lot of times we try to make a puzzle piece fit that don't fit.
I think that when a man is really into a certain type of woman, then he's going to wine and dine her because that's what he wants. When he is looking at your ass as optional and he can take you or leave you, that's how you end up on a coffee shop dates because he's totally unsure of you. And then if there's no courting situations going on. So at one point we used to be able to get to know each other, whatever, whatever. But I kind of think that women ruined the game on this by fucking the guys that they wanted to too early. But if a man really likes you and he's really into you, he's not gonna present you with the coffee shop date until like if it's a casual thing, then after a point it'll be hey, I'm going to Starbucks, let's go. Yeah, that's one thing, but to actually present that from up top, if a guy feels like you're an option, that's what he presents to options. He presents a coffee shop to an option.
you know what? You said something that's interesting because we're talking about these 304's winning out here.
Hmm.
And you said that there's a such thing as having sex too soon after meeting somebody. I didn't know there was such a thing. Please expound.
Okay. So with a woman having sex too soon, if a woman wants a relationship and that man hasn't established any type of respect for her, she doesn't know where they stand, she wants something more out of that situation, but she has sex with him to kind of make the vote lean toward her side, or she does something to seduce him, thinking that she is going to get another type of reciprocation, then to me that's having sex too soon. If there's a mutual benefit, a mutual respect there, and it's something that she wants to do, and she's clear cut on the consequences of that, then that's something different. But if she meets a guy, she thinks he's sexy and fine, she gives it up to him, they have sex a couple more times, and then she starts to develop feelings, and that guy is like, well, we're not in a relationship, that was never established. Even if you wanted a relationship and you weren't clear on what I want, but you still chose to have sex, then you have to bear that responsibility. So to me, I think when a woman does it and she's not able to get everything that she wants out of that situation, to me, that's too soon. What about you? You don't think there's a such thing?
Well, I always thought every woman, I don't know, maybe it's just my experience, but every woman, like I would say not every, maybe 98% of the women that I ever had sex with, we always had sex more than once. And after like the third time, they always like want to be my girlfriend or wife sometimes after a couple weeks. So I just thought women just catch feelings after they have sex. But you just hit me to something else. Maybe it's just my low experience, but all these women, y'all feelings change no matter how long you wait. If you have sex the first night or if you wait a month, y'all still catch the same feelings. So I don't know why y'all even stall for real. Because if you want to have sex, just go ahead and do it. Because you're gonna catch these feelings anyway. And
Yeah, but the whole thing is after you have sex, generally the man has this thing called post nut clarity. So with men,
he had
and
it a month later too. He
yeah,
has that
but
same
but
clarity.
but if there's a chance of anything developing, see, well, and I'll say a situation like this. Most women I know who fuck fast. They'll fuck fast and then they'll realize the guy wasn't hitting no shit, or that situation ain't gonna work out, and they feel like they done wasted some badge on somebody that wasn't really worth it. Or they have sex with somebody who, let's say, it just wasn't good, and it was, the D was, they got a BDR, that's a bad dick report. Um then it's like that's how women's numbers go up. That's how they end up with so many bodies, because it's a quick fast thing, and there's no rhyme and reason to it. Sex is just sex. It's just something physical. There's no spiritual connection there. There's no type of connection there. It's just a penis going inside of a vag. And then most women are kind of left on the, like, oh, well, what are we now? Like, what are we doing? And I think that's interesting. I don't know.
Now, I believe, yeah, if a woman going to give up the cat quickly, I think that she should. No, I'm just saying that she should have not one bit of an expectation. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, if she's gonna give it up quickly, you don't have room for expectations.
Yes.
But
No.
when you do take your
Expectations are coming back.
time, when you take your time to give it up, and you're actually able to get to know the man, and to see if you actually like him, a lot of guys can be very attractive on the surface. Lots of black men, especially, are very attractive surface level, very attractive. They can carry themselves with a lot of swag. Beards be just, ooh, sexy. They be sexy. But then when you really get to talking to a guy, or if a guy gets to talking to a girl, and he knows he doesn't really want anything but some ass from her, she'd probably be able to figure a lot more of that out, as opposed to going with her first initial attraction to that.
See, no matter how long you stick around before having sex, you refrain from sex. It, if a man has no interest in a relationship, it really probably doesn't have anything to do with you. So you're not going to change his mind. You're not going to dissuade him or persuade him to get into a relationship, no matter who you are, if he's a real man, because he won't get indulged in a relationship with a woman if he's not in that mode. So if he's looking for a woman, he's probably going to treat you like he's looking for a woman. So it won't really matter, from my experience, it won't really matter if you stall him out for sex, because that's not the reason why he's dealing, not the only reason why he's dealing with you. And sex is not going to keep him there anyway.
It's
So
not a factor of sex keeping him there, but if she has sex with him right off, only following what her vag says, and she's looking for something after the fact, then she could discover more about the man as opposed to seeing what the physical is about and then trying to figure everything else out after the fact. A
I
lot of
agree
women
with
to
that.
give it up and then try to figure out the guy and, well, what's going on with him? How come he isn't consistent? Is he
Right.
dealing with somebody else? What's he up to? How come he's not answering the phone now? And you know, if you wait just a little bit, you can figure out a lot of those things prior to sex.
Yeah, but I'm just saying he's probably going to start ignoring your calls anyway if it was possible, no matter how long you waited. Once y'all have sex, everything is going to be shown and proved. All right. If he really like you, he's going to keep answering your calls. If y'all had sex after 2 days, if he really likes you, he'll continue to answer your calls. It's really that simple. A lot of people put so much emphasis on the time that you make a man wait for sex, and I'm just here to tell you, if he is not interested,
So let me ask you a
it's not going to
question.
change anything.
So let me ask you a question.
Hmm.
You seem like a guy. Never mind. I don't know that. But the way you're talking is like you are a guy who will smash on like the first date, right?
Plenty of times, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Why were you with the majority of the women that you smashed on the first date?
See, that's why. I'm glad you asked that question, because I guess I lived a certain life, and I'm not like no supermodel or nothing, but I'm just me. So y'all just gotta take my word for it. And y'all can ask a lot of my old, all of my homies and everything if y'all want to. But me, I don't hold it against a woman if she has sex within the first couple days, because
Why
I
would
I
you? It's a benefit to you.
no, I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't make me think that you're a whore or a bad person or somebody who lacks integrity, because all the women who I've had sex with, it literally happens within the first couple days. Or the first couple 2 weeks is literally like, that is the longest I can really remember. That's like dating.
Why aren't you with those women, those thousands of women that you smashed? I'm kidding. That you smashed on the first date.
Uh,
You didn't remain with half of them.
well, I only had 6 girlfriends my whole life. Now, all the girlfriends, I mean, all my girlfriends, my were pretty much. I think my shortest relationship was like 4 years. Then it was like 8 years. I'm not gonna go through all that, but I
Argue
have
is
I
kind
have
of
long relationships.
Jericho.
But every woman that I've been with in a real relationship, we had sex within the first week.
Okay, but the women that you had sex with in a first week that you weren't in a relationship with, what happened to those hundreds of women? What happened to them?
I mean, it wasn't the reason why I
Yeah,
didn't.
see how
It
you
was because I
stuttering?
didn't want a woman. I didn't want a girlfriend at the time. I didn't want to. I
But
didn't want to have
and you
anything long
also
term.
said that they developed feelings for you. You
And
said that, right?
that's when I gotta go, because it'd be like, all right, we had this agreement, we just did what we did, and a couple weeks later, now you want to be my girl, and that ain't what we signed up for. So it'd be over. It'd be over in a matter of, like, after like 3 times we had sex, it'd be over.
So
I can't even
you hit
talk
them
to
with
her no
like the
more.
three strikes you out.
No, it's like
You
literally
cold.
that. It's just like that's just like how it goes. Like after like the third time, maybe four, y'all start acting, not y'all, but women just start acting like they like really in love with you, and you got to make a decision, or she's your girlfriend, whether you like it or not. because she's going to want you to call her back all the time. She's going to want to know where you at. She's going to want to know why you didn't call her back. And you never told her she was your girlfriend, but you keep having sex with her. And that's when she going, Jasmine Sullivan, the windows out your car, because you acting like you don't know she done caught these feelings. So I'm real sturdy on that. Soon as she start acting like she my girlfriend, if I'm not going to make her that, she got to go.
Wow. Shout out to All Seeing Eye. He says sex early only means high interest most times. She's gonna follow your lead if she wants you as a man. But you see, we have RG up here. Even when the women tried to follow him as a man and follow his lead, and they had high interest, he wasn't really with it. He wasn't into it. And the fact of the matter is, most guys don't end up with women in long-term relationships after they've had sex with them after a day. Most men, especially if they're able to obtain a lot of vag, they don't generally stick with the women that they're able to hit on the first day. I don't see that.
Yeah, I just, me personally, I just can't hold it against a woman when I know all these women do it. It's like I really like the whole hoe term. The whole term hoe is just like really, it's just overused. Or it should just apply to everybody because all women do it. It's just really a matter of, oh, okay, I was just in my hoe phase. This is what women do. I was in my hoe phase, but now I'm looking for a real long term man. And then they start acting like a woman who's looking for a long term situation. So they don't have sex within the first couple of weeks. Oh, how long should I make him wait? But in all actuality, if he ain't really trying to have a long term relationship, y'all just not gonna have that. So if you
I
really hold out,
understand that.
you don't really need to hold out. If you want to have sex, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I can understand that to a certain degree, but the not having sex thing gives a person more time to figure out who a person is versus doing it on the first night and then trying to figure more shit out on the back end when you could have waited and figured some shit out first.
But see the thing about that, I
Yeah.
mean, while that's true, that it is true, but most of your life, let's just keep things in context. Most of your life, your adult life, you're not looking for a relationship when you meet this person who you're sexually attracted to. Y'all just try and get it in. You, the woman, him, the man, y'all just trying to get it in, and that's why y'all do that. It's not rocket science. Now, if you was looking for a man, then I would probably recommend against that because he going the first thought in his head is okay, she for the streets, but we had a good time. Let's do this a couple more times.
But you
Mm.
have women who do want to be in relationships because they do want to have a lot of sex, right? But they want to have it with the one guy. They want to do all these different tricks and turns and all these different things. But they want, yeah, they want to be respectable. But they want it with that one guy. So women, yeah, would want the relationship. But are men offering that? Then that's something different. Then if women are opting,
Nah, you know
go ahead
what? A
and have the
lot of.
sex.
I'm sorry, Naima.
Oh yeah, if women are opting out to have all the sex without the relationship, then at this point it will be on women. So
The
go
whole thing is a lot of women tend to fall for the vagueness of the guy when it comes down to relationships. Most guys know that if they're upfront and honest and say, "Hey, I'm not looking for a relationship at all. I just want to smash and we could kick it. You can come over my crib. I'll come over your crib. We could watch TV. Maybe we can go grab a cup of coffee. But basically, I just want to smash." And a lot of men know that women would not be down for that. And so they will do leading shit like, "Oh, well, let's just see where it goes, let's see what happens." And they'll kind of give you a very, very vague, vague answer because they're not serious. And a lot of women tend to fall for the vagueness.
Yeah, the vagueness is really what gets people in trouble on both sides. If people would just be honest, that's real game. If you come in the doors pretty much letting everybody know this is what I'm here for, then you won't have all these problems down the line. See, a lot of women in particular, well, I can't put that on either more so than the other. Men lie, women lie, they mislead. Everybody's doing that, putting on this front when you first meet somebody, and that's why they end up with somebody who's confused about their place in their life. And that's just something that I've really recommend against, and I've ever since I was a young adult, I figured out from hard learned experiences that you should just be straightforward and honest. And if this is the mode you're in and you just want to have sex, then you need to treat every woman like that so they don't get it confused.
Interesting. Shout out to All Seeing Eye. They said, I'm a polygamist and I still have mine first night. That's interesting. And shout out to D. Thank you so much for the super chat. He says it doesn't matter if they give it up on day 1 or 90 days. Women must lead with intention and act upon it. At the same time, women need to have men vetted if the outcome is marriage. The onus is primarily on the woman. I absolutely agree with that. Because if you, like I said, if you're having sex on the first date, in the first day, first couple hours or whatever, you don't know anything about that man. And to allow a man inside of your body and you don't know anything about, I think it's less problems after the fact. I don't know. I just think it's less problems. But a shout out to Lakeith. He says it's unfair to ask men if they're offering relationships. How you know the guy isn't trying to figure it out as well? The difference is testosterone. Lakeith, I think that's I don't think it's an unfair thing to lead off to exactly what it is that you want when you're dealing with somebody. If a guy wants some ass from you, I think he should be very upfront with that and let you decide if you want to go ahead and do that. But I don't know. Why is that unfair? To ask men that. That's interesting. Shout out to Jack Spade. He says women want all shades of the world to grant them winning hands, holding royal flush, being single in a causal or committed relationship or marriage. Jack, I don't know if I understand that. Shout out to the perfect storm. He says,
Casual.
"Oh, casual child, listen." Okay, I still don't get it. Shout out to the perfect storm. He says a lot of women just want to be the rejecter and hate the vice versa. That's also a great point, perfect storm. Most women do want to be in control when it comes down to it. That's a great point. Um, so I do want to get into the second half of our discussion. Y'all ready?
No doubt. Let's go.
Yes, and also I'd like to add too, because Will Smith network is 350 million, and Jada Pinkett is 50 million. Jada Pinkett Smith is 50 million. You think Jada is trying to go somewhere? I doubt it. I doubt it. She's not going to take her 50 million and go home. No, she's staying with her husband. And yeah,
She don't.
And her husband staying with her. Her husband likes it there. Her husband say he loves it there. He'll go and smack a nigga upside the head if a nigga got something to say about it. He
that's
Real quick, because you did mention, do I believe that men are dick police and Will, and
yeah.
I just think everybody sees Will crying. And it's like, all right, Will, we know that y'all got this relationship. Nobody talking about that until we see Will crying about it. And then we think that Will's not happy. So when y'all say Will's happy where he's at, it just don't seem like he's happy. Unless those are tears of joy. Maybe he was crying because he won the Oscar. But it seemed like he was crying because he just got so much going on in his life right now. And he's been crying all over the place for the past couple years now, ever since the red table. So I don't know if he's happy
How often do men stay in situations where they are ridiculously unhappy?
all the time.
Really?
All the time.
why. But
Until,
why?
I mean, most people, honestly, from my experience, most people don't leave when things first go wrong. They try to work it out for any number of reasons. Or they know that they shit stink too. So, it's just an ongoing cycle between these two people. But we can't get into their household. We don't know what's actually going on, the ins and outs. But I would say he's staying there for a reason that's unknown to us, but he's clearly having some issues with the way that things are going. Or he wouldn't be crying all the time. That's all I'm saying. I can't help but notice that this nigga is crying every time you turn around. I'm just saying.
Y'all put him in emotional situations and expect that man to keep a straight face. If he won an Oscar and he was crying about that, he was crying, but he looked like he was turned up at that Oscar party. He looked like a happy man. I noticed that black men don't want to highlight those times where Will Smith is happy. Will be doing TikToks and all over the world and this, that, and the third. Men don't highlight that. Men still try to relegate everything down to Jada, and I don't necessarily think that's fair to Will.
Will might be losing his mind because all matter of in a matter of 30 seconds, we saw Will crack it up. We saw Will walk up and smack the shit out of Chris Rock. We saw Will crying. We saw Will go through a whole rigmarole. So I don't know what's going on with Will. Maybe he done lost his mind. He done showed every behavior in 30 seconds.
Shout out to Auntie Wanda. She says, "Hey, Sister George. Hey, Naima Buckner in chat. Hey, Auntie Wanda. Thank you so much." But no, Will. The problem is most men aren't taking into account that Will is a happy man. Will was turned up at that Oscars party. They was playing Getting Jiggy with It. That's an old Philly favorite. I know y'all be jigging to that. But Will looked like he was over there cutting a rug, like y'all couldn't tell him shit. He just slapped the nigga on national TV. What y'all gonna say about it? Nothing. The police didn't escort him out. Security didn't even come get him. They said he refused to leave. Like, that's a black man in power right there. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope he get it together though. I don't want. I just don't want Will to get into a situation like what he did that night off stage because Hollywood ain't when you come out of Hollywood, it's real hands that might come back, and we don't know what that hand might have in it, man. I just want Will to be safe. That's all. We love Will Smith in Philly. He got to get it together.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
know what? See, I don't think the people are really upset with Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. They are only upset that he did it for Jada's sake, because they don't really truly like Jada. I'm hearing the consensus, and most people are saying that they don't like Jada. So I think that they're upset that he smacked Chris Rock only because they don't like Jada. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm only going off what I see here.
Listen, look. Huh? No disrespect to the lady in the top left. I gotta ask, are you in a relationship? Actually, I'm married and happily married. I come here and keep up shit and have a good conversation, but don't take this to heart. I am happily married and very submissive to my husband. My husband won't ever have to slap one of you guys. And I wouldn't have him do anything like that. I wouldn't try to get him to do anything like that. We're very, very conservative people. Anywho, shout out to the perfect storm. He says, when a man's wife is smashing other dudes, it will drive him crazy. He's still there. He is still there. Will likes it where he is at. Everybody can say whatever against Jada. Yeah, yeah, it's a wrap.
Real,
Will's
real,
still
real,
there.
real quick. Let me comment on that because there's somebody in the space who I actually dig, bull. Uh, but his whole lifestyle is contradictory to the statement that the Perfect Storm made because Mr. Locario is in an
Uh
open
oh.
marriage, and he seems to be happy. I don't see Locario crying. That's why I believe he's happy in his open marriage. I don't believe that Will Smith is happy because he always crying every time something happened. When Jada come out here and put his business in the street. Now, I think
I don't know. See, because when Will cries, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's sad. He's an actor. We can't. I don't know.
you could be right. You could be right. You could be right. I've seen crazier things in Hollywood, but I'm just gonna take it at face value because they still running with this story that this was real. So we gonna have to just, I guess, use this as a case study to examine what we would actually do and what we think about it if it
I am
happened.
dying. This guy said that crazy religion they follow got them stuck together. I'm a hollering. Y'all gonna leave Scientology out of this. Scientology is an interesting thing if you ever take some time to study. It's a good way to do your shadow work. But anywho, um, so
You know what? I want to add another thing too, because
go ahead.
Jada, she was able to marry hypergamously,
Mm.
and most Black women cannot. So a lot of women, sometimes they can't fathom, the depths of a man that would kind of do that for his wife. Whether that's a good or bad thing, everyone has their own perspective, and to each his own perspective. But um, yeah, Jada, she's is a hypergamous woman. And if you're not if you're not in a hypergamous relationship, sometimes you don't understand certain dynamics. And it's not to shade those, but there are certain criteria and dynamics that take place in those relationships. So I just want to throw that in there.
No, I think that's a good point. Jada was bag first, and Jada still bag first because Jada's not also not going anywhere. RG, you did say something interesting that I was thinking about. Um, like the fact that she won't leave either. I thought that I don't know if you said that or so, but I think I heard it somewhere in this conversation where
Yeah,
it was
that's me.
saying that she won't leave. And then, when a person is in power, how often does the person in power leave a situation where they have all the power?
Yeah, I mean, I nothing makes me believe that she's not content. She seems happy. I don't see her crying. I don't see her,
She
you
has
know.
alopecia. You didn't see that? She was crying
Well,
about that.
yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with how Will's behaving out in public. I mean, she got alopecia. She going through
She
it. I
got
probably be crying
alopecia. I
about
mean,
that
that's
too.
a hard thing to.
Yeah, but come on, we everything. I mean, she probably had got a splinter in first grade too often. I mean, we gonna add everything on it. Will is actually obviously he's behaving in a way that she's content with, but so she's not crying. I don't see her upset unless we just want to go with your narrative that maybe Will is crying because this is just something he does as he's an actor. But it really seems like he's having a tough time with this relationship.
Okay, if they got divorced and he was to lose um half of his dough, would we're acting like Will Smith can't get that money back. We're acting like Will Smith isn't like one of the top actors, especially black actors in Hollywood, like he can't get that money back. Why doesn't he leave Jada? If he left Jada, he wouldn't be flat broke. What's the problem?
I mean, he could get it back, but that don't mean he want to give it to her. Whatever she's doing to make him upset, and to as far as everybody else in public is feeling like she's disrespectful to this man. I mean, do he really want to give her $175 million plus?
But what's the cost of peace, and
I don't know. That's
what's
expensive
the
peace.
cost of peace?
Hey, I mean that's a heavy price tag for peace, and maybe it's just cheaper to keep her. I feel like Will should just go ahead and have him a side girlfriend or have him a couple of them and get his mind right. Go to an island somewhere and forget about the whole thing, or just pay that 175 million or whatever that tab is going to be. Because
See, but
it seemed like
but
a lot of money to me.
but I think on Jada's end, Jada could have divorced her husband. Jada wants her husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jada wants her husband. She loves her husband, and yeah, so she's friends to the end, like Chucky. She's that's
Because
Well,
even if she was to leave that marriage, she would, let's say she would get half. What's making her stay in that relationship? If she can get half the money, she can go and have sex with as many of her son's friends as her heart desires. What's the problem with that? If she can get out of that situation, then what's the big idea? That she's so tied to this situation that she doesn't have to deal with that situation.
Hey, she might love him, but she definitely does not respect that man. I'm just gonna have to. That's just the way I see it. If was a fifth, we all be tore up in here. But I see her being disrespectful as far as my perception. That's disrespectful, and it's just pretty much all the men that I hear talking about. That red table talk. That was disrespectful. Open marriage or not, you don't put that out there, and just the whole action in itself, just having sex with your son's friend who's basically at the house, everybody knows him, and she just basically ran down on young boy. So, she disrespecting herself, if you ask me, as
I
well as him.
think um I don't know. I think at the end of the day, he's still in that relationship. He's still in that marriage. I think Will cries for the sake of being on TV and making it publicity and drama and making it dramatic. The way Will was kicking it at that party, the way Jada was laughing after he slapped Chris Rock. Jada had her a good laugh over there in that corner. I think Will is probably more content than guys would actually be able to fathom. But I think they've reached other levels of their relationship to whatever you do, however you do it, it don't matter. We married. And for the simple fact that she could also leave and end up with probably half of his money and she's still there. I don't know. Maybe they've reached another plateau that yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy that somebody who so-called care about Will Smith, you know, if you're going to allow him to get up and walk over and don't even say, "Hey, babe, hold up." Don't do that. I know you about to go because I know how you get. Don't smack Chris Rock. Get over here, boy. She didn't say none of that. She just let him, oh, okay, he about to go over there and smack the shit out of Chris Rock because I know he said he wanted to do it. And costed him probably the duration of his career.
Yeah.
Didn't say
Um
anything. It still hasn't said anything. So I don't see where she respects that man at all.
Shout out to Jack Spade. He says Regina Hall clearly insinuated their marriage, excuse me, their open marriage during a monologue. Will, Jada, and the audience laughed their butts off. Punk move for Will. I do think it was crazy to see. It definitely was ridiculous. Shout out to Dane C. He says Jada worth 50 mil with movies like Woo. Do y'all remember Woo? I haven't seen Woo in years. Like in years. I think I'm gonna go back and watch
Everybody,
it.
these guys are front, and everyone had major crush on Jada Pinkett.
I was about to say,
They
y'all,
need to cut
y'all,
that out.
yeah, don't cut up because Jada, that's my little boo boo. Don't act like that ain't who she is though. Like if Will ain't paying attention, what I mean, I'll show him what to do with her for real. But no, don't act like Jada ain't every bit of that. All right, so y'all taking it too far.
Shout out to D. He says loves Will yet rides August for happiness. Yikes. Damn, that was harsh. Um, maybe Will gave her permission. Maybe he signed her permission slip. The problem is I think that a lot of guys can't fathom that a man would allow his woman to do that and still call her his woman. But and I do think it's probably one of the same situations with Lucario. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say about Lucario, but Lucario is still in a relationship and is trying to make that relationship flourish. And he seems happy. He seems very happy.
He definitely seems happy, and that's what it's all about.
Is it blue pill thinking to think that a woman is totally yours or it's just your turn?
I don't know what kind of pill that is, but you probably took too many pills if you if you believe that. I
If you
mean,
believe that a woman is totally yours, you that's blue pill thinking.
nope. I don't. Honestly, I don't know. I gotta get hit with all the pills. There's a lot of pills nowadays, but you got to be out your mind if you think that she's yours. She gotta be standing firm on what she believes in. If she wants to be in a relationship and she wants to hold you down or any man, and this is the way she want to live her life, then that's really between her and her creator. If y'all get into spirituality, if that's where she's at in life, then you should just be happy that you met her at the right time. Because there's no woman on earth that I believe has been faithful throughout every relationship they ever been in. So it could happen to anybody, and anybody can do it. So I just don't even put that much emphasis on somebody's loyalty because I can't control it.
And you know what? And the person can feel that way. It's just your turn, right? If you're younger, that may make hella sense, right? But if you're 55, 60 in a house, with your wife and you still 60 saying, "Oh, it's just my turn," then there's something wrong with that. and,
Nah,
or
Naima,
she's giving you,
he's 75 talking about it's just my
"It's
turn.
just my turn." Yeah. So
Miss Betty
hopefully,
done been making his damn food and bringing him plates and running his bath and shit. And it's just my turn. She do this shit for everybody. What
yeah.
the hell?
Y'all crazy. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people put emphasis on things that they cannot control, and I think that's just you create your own miniature hell when you do that to yourself. So I ain't saying you need to trust anybody. I just feel like that's something that you shouldn't really worry yourself about. And if you standing sturdy, then just be a person that somebody would probably feel obligated to be loyal to. Just be firm and sturdy on what you believe in and your principles. And people will be less likely to shit on you because they're afraid of losing you because you're a good person. But that's as far as it
Hmm.
goes. You can't expect too much out of other people's behavior. You just got to deal with it as it comes, in my opinion.
You got a good point. Shout out to Jay the Conqueror. He says, I think Sister George can slap harder than Will. Who am I slapping though? I don't slap people anymore. Maybe once upon a time, a long, long, long time ago's days. But I haven't slapped anybody in like almost a decade. So I'm not about that life anymore. I'm a feminine submissive woman. So now let's get to the second half of this topic. How to stop these hoes from winning. What can you do to stop a hoe from winning? Naima, you start us off. What can you do? What can we do to stop these hoes from winning? Can you stop them?
only way you can stop them is to not play the game.
Mm. Okay.
Not play the game,
So not playing the game means what?
meaning that they say the hoe gonna be the hoe gonna be the hoe. So if you expect any more out of the hoe, then at this point it's like, yeah, this what Ty City says this. Anything when you trust a woman, anything past that point is your fault, right? So he puts this high stipulation on that. Like if you trust her, then it's going to have to be your fault, in a sense of taking ownership of what you guys have going on. And each relationship should be about ownership. So it doesn't necessarily have to be about the hoe, right? It's more so understanding that one, you can't control nobody but yourself. So to
Mm.
even trust the hoe, then yeah, you slipping. That's your fault for that. But I don't know what you guys think.
RG, what's your opinion? How do you stop a hoe from winning?
I ain't so sure you can. I mean, the hoes is running the triangle offense. it,
What's the
hey, look,
triangle offense?
hey, look, it wins championships. Okay, Jordan and Kobe. Let's analogize this. Jordan and Kobe is the hoes. They jump off. They got a 40-inch vertical. They shoot. They practicing. They in the gym every day. They've been practicing since they 2 years old. But the hoes can't win without Phil Jackson, and that's the simping. The simps and the tricks is the only reason why the hoes could be winning. Cause ain't nobody else paying these hoes no mind. You're not going. You can't squeeze juice out of a rock. You can't squeeze blood out of a rock. So I ain't the tricking. So I don't pay these hoes no mind. But all these tricks and all these simps is the reason why hoes is winning. So A lot of dudes don't like to hear this, but I try to tell y'all all the time, the game is in you, it ain't on you. And the hoes can smell you from a mile away. So if you the simping or you the tricking, they gonna flock to you because that's what you here for. That's what you here for. So don't get mad at the hoes when they win it, because y'all the reason why the hoes is winning. Now, if there's reciprocity in the situation, then fair exchange, no robbery. I don't see what all the fuss is about. To be honest, hoes always been winning. They should be winning.
Mm. I think there's a couple of ways to stop it from happening, but it does require discipline from men. And for one thing, a lot of men give out a lot of free attention. You liking pictures, you hearting her, you telling her how sexy she is, you telling her how fine she is, what you'll do to her. And if you have an average woman and she's getting a bunch of inboxes saying this, then that also elevates her. That elevates her in her head. Whether you think so or not, it does elevate her. Um, Doing stuff too early without a woman showing you any reciprocation. Let's just say you taking her out to nice expensive restaurants and you've taken her out quite a few times and she hasn't offered you anything. She hasn't offered you a home cooked meal. She hasn't offered you any ass. I think that will also stop a hoe from winning is if you actually have requirements and standards for yourself. That stops hoes from winning. I got a couple more. I'm gonna read the super chat. Shout out to All Seeing Eye again. Thank you so much. He says, women get what they want sexually. Yes, a woman is never yours. Y'all fellas better adapt. It's polygamist or open relationships for me. Women have hoe phases while married. Who is having a hoe phase while being in a child?
Some of them don't never come out the whole phase.
Damn, then why she get me? How she get married?
Hey, it's just what it is.
Shout out to Danica Marie. She says, Sister George, I saw you in concrete, cammed up and cute earlier. Loving it. She says, hey, Naima and RG. Thank you so much, Danica. Really appreciate you.
What's up?
I didn't know you came up, Danny.
Yeah, we cammed up at the beginning of the show. And we said we'll do it ever so often until we're doing it all the time.
I was
it was a pretty
out.
decent show.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna drop the link and I want to hear you guys' tips. Can you stop a hoe from winning? Can you put some stop on that hoe? Stop this bitch. This bitch is running all over the place. Can you stop a hoe from winning? Let me drop the link and let me see what you guys think. Bars. Okay.
She said bars.
Bar.
I'll be rapping.
The guys want to say Jada is a Jada is a hoe. Jada is a hoe. She don't need will no mo. Jada is a hoe. She is bald. All she needs is a I'm sorry.
Girl, don't make us start freestyling. I know Recognized Game used to be a rapper back in the day, right?
Yeah, I used to rap and sing.
Nah, child, what you was singing? Tenor?
No, I had a nice little situation. I might come back out with something.
You got to do our sing to our theme song.
That's what the guys think. That's why I sung the song. That's how the guys feel about the Jada. How the guys feel about Jada.
I want to say shout out to Danica Marito because those discussions over there definitely telling y'all the real. So I like her. I like her. Good to see her over there.
Okay. Well, we got Jack Spade up here. Jack Spade, can you stop a hoe from winning? If so, how?
Man, you can't stop a hoe just like you can't stop a player. You know that.
Facts.
Church.
I think we can stop these hoes. Y'all have my full support.
If my father was still alive, this is a man that was born 1937. If he was still alive and well, he'll tell you about the hoes from back in his day. Man, you can't stop the whole train. Ain't no stopping. It's like up in the club. Ain't no stopping.
Okay. If you're not speaking, mute up for me, and we're gonna go in order. Okay. So you saying that you can't stop a hoe from winning, just like you can't stop a player. Do you believe in the tricking at all?
Yeah.
Do you believe in simping?
What defines simping now? Because it's all over the place now. You got dudes up here. A dude can hand a woman a damn stick of bubble gum. Oh dog, that's simping. I mean, as I told a couple of folks, uh, pay what you can afford. If you can only afford, I said this here. If you can only afford treating the chick to a $10 dinner, you treat it at $10. That's just the way it is.
Okay. Okay.
But when it comes down to the hoes for the dudes, the game is get yours and get away.
Got it. Okay. Great Pill Podcast. Welcome. Can you stop a hoe from winning? Can you stop the rain from falling? How do you stop these hoes?
Uh, Same thing like Jack said. You can't. I mean, this has been going around since Adam and Eve. So I don't understand why people acting delusion about this. I pretty much came up here to support recognized game because I didn't feel it was fair for two women or one guy with that much personality. But I will say, yeah, y'all doing a lot right now. I was getting in my feelings in the chat, but
My man.
yeah, bruh, I was fighting for you mentally and spiritually. But yeah,
Good to have you.
I appreciate you, man. Everybody in the chat, thank you. But yeah, you can't. It just comes down to women have to hold women accountable. Men can't do it. And when it comes down to it, and I, give if the other lady she's saying, I'm just using her for example. If she's coming out her best and I'm coming out my best, confident and everything else, swag drip down, and we on both sides of the street and we're walking down. Besides social media, she's gonna get 10, 20, 100 dudes automatically just how she look. She don't have to speak. She don't have to do anything. She can even look busted. She's gonna get that attention. I'm not. It just is. So guys is 9 or 10 times always gonna be the one approaching women. Women is not gonna do that. Now we got social media. Y'all can sit home on the toilet, handle your business, and then y'all get like all 100 DMs. I'm sure, just you married, and I'm sure you like shoo them away, beat them with a stick. It's gonna happen. So you can't do that. And then for us to back again with the media, hold yourself accountable. Women got to hold other women accountable. If you know your sister, nieces, because I'm sure everybody got them, doing their little selfies on a picture on Facebook, you're asking for free sexual attention. And when it come your way, now you kiki and cuckooing. And then when a guy act a little bit sideways, quote unquote simping, I don't know why he acting like that. Gotta hold people accountable. It's
Let
not
me
gonna resolve everything, but that's where it should start.
let me ask you a question because Auntie Wanda did make a great point. How can I hold somebody accountable for something that most men adore? Most men love a hoe. Most of y'all can't stop paying attention to hoes. How am I supposed to hold this woman accountable? And even if she's able to, sometimes hoes are actually able to get in higher positions than quote unquote good girls than the quote unquote quote homely girl.
Well,
If a woman,
that's a smart hoe. That's a whole different story.
yeah, so I'm
But
saying like,
what you're doing it
how am
right
I
now.
supposed to hold her accountable?
Well, you're kind of doing it right now because you have a platform, you have a voice, so people's gonna be influenced by you and your positivity. You're a married woman. That's number one. That's a start. You're leading by an example. You know what I'm saying? Something Will was not doing when he acted out of character. He's a grown man. We as real men know, said it many times, my platform, other people's platform, how you should carry yourself. She put a bat in his back in a story, but we have a platform and we know if it's 5 followers, 23 viewers, somebody's watching you, somebody's listening to you. So that's step one. So hold yourself accountable and keep moving forward. Now, if you have not anything personal, like your auntie, sisters, or somebody's close to you, and you know you got these close people, and you see something going sideways or going left, just gradually have a conversation. Look, I got a little bit more experience to you. This is what I see, what you're doing wrong, and take it from there. That's it. It's not that hard.
But you know what? The Great Pill podcast, you
Yes,
made a
ma'am.
good point, and it's kind of like, we get on this internet, right? We get on the
Yes.
internet and we want to hold strangers accountable. but we have family members that we can definitely hold accountable. Like you said, the nieces and cousins, we see how they're operating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or nieces, or your cousins, boy cousins, and all of those different things.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we don't even want to have the conversations with our family members, right? To put them in line or put them in check. But yet we want to come on the internet to hold strangers in check. Why do
Correct.
we do that?
I don't know. I feel like it's an attention thing because, and we already know in these little YouTube streets. I just came across Miss Sister George on saw her on another platform. I like how she carried herself, so I saw her here. So hey, why not just join in on the conversation? But I feel like most people, when they get them little that little flame, them extra likes, them extra whatever's in the super chats come out, they just get a little bit addicted to it. So it's like that old saying, like drunk people speak the truth. And your attentions come up more higher when you start getting the celebrity fame and money status. So that's how I see it. But I still preach this on any platform. We got to have these conversations, and it got to be had, whether it's first for home, but now we're choosing to do these platforms. Still stand on your ground with the same conversations.
Okay.
Okay.
Tommy B, how do you stop these hoes from winning? Can these hoes be stopped?
Nah, you can't stop them because it's always gonna be suckers. So as long
Shout out
as
to
it's
Tommy B.
suckers, what's that a great pill? As long as it's suckers, I mean they always gonna win. And like what Dog was saying, like I understand what you're saying, but if if a female is trying to say hold a hoe accountable, she might want to be having what that hoe is getting. Because if she over here getting to the bag and regular degular, she ain't about to listen to you anyway. So that's another big part of it.
Facts.
Tommy, you have a great point. Is it a thing to where men are supposed to hold other men accountable without dick policing? Because then when men try to hold other men accountable, it also becomes a problem. But then it's like men will look to women and tell women to hold other women accountable for things that men enjoy. And to me, it seems to be a lot of hypocrisy in all of that.
I don't hold shit accountable because it don't affect me. Like hoes can win all they want to. It don't affect my life. If that's what them cats want to do, that's what they want to do. As long as they don't affect my life, I mean, who am I to tell them what to do with with their time, money, or whatever they giving them?
Now, Tommy B, do you pay hoes? Do you pay the hoes?
No, ma'am. I'm from Oakland. We don't get down like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Wait a minute. Jack wanted to jump in. Jack, what's your point?
All right, this is my last point because I'm about to drop off. This is the Auntie Wanda. Men don't love hoes. Hoes are just easy access for sex because we've all heard about that one or some female who was dating a dude. The dude disappeared for a short period of time and ended up marrying somebody else. Like I said, men do not love hoes. We just love the easy sex.
I disagree.
You
It's
know
always
what?
a sucker that's
And
gonna
that's
fall in
it.
love with her.
And everybody
You know
have a
what?
great week. Be safe.
Thank you,
I'm
Jack.
glad he brought that up. I'm glad you
Thanks,
brought that
Jack.
up, OG. But Dig, I really do know that a lot of these dudes do love these hoes, and I know,
Exactly,
I know,
100%.
I know plenty of hoes that had not even a sugar daddy, but just they dance at the club or whatever, and these dudes will come and just pay her for years. I'm talking about years. Every other day they come by just to talk to her and leave a couple $1,000 just to be around. So they do love these hoes, man. You be surprised.
And
I
I
think
mean,
that's a good point.
even worse than
They
that,
ain't
I done
right for
seen
these
them
hoes though.
where
That's the point. That's the whole point
no, no,
of
no, no, no.
everything.
That's where you wrong. I done seen them where they been ran through. It's been all they ran through, and they still get wiped up. Like, don't get it twisted. Don't get this
Do
YouTube
they
nonsense
get wiped
shit
up
twisted.
after they do they get wiped after they let the person know that they've been ran through, or
Yeah,
before that?
Ran through,
absolutely.
bro. Yes.
He right. He right. These hoes, I'm telling you. Look, man, these hoes, it's basically supply and demand. I mean, it's real. It's really not that complicated. As long as it's all these simps
Not.
out here and these trick ass niggas out here, it's gonna always be some hoes that's trying to get to that bag because the bag is there to be got. So I don't hold none of that against them. It's a market for it. It's a
It,
lot of
it,
niggas
it
that's
comes
willing
down.
to fly
You're absolutely
fly these
right.
hoes out.
You're absolutely right. It comes down to the individual's mindset. That's it. If you want a hoe,
So how
get
are
your
y'all?
hoe.
How are y'all holding men accountable? And before y'all answer that, I'm gonna read the super chat. Shout out to Janika's Marie, dope discussions. She says life will stop these 304s. Life catches up to them, and female nature of needing an authentic masculine man that can provide, protect, and check that ass kicks in. And those men are not checking for them. Thank you so much for that, Danica. Um, who? Oh, all seeing eye. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, you can't change them. They gotta change themselves, and that's just it right there. And they're gonna change for whoever they want, which is why I said they're gonna follow that person's lead. Period. Hey, but at the same time, women love sex too. So hey, listen, it is what it is. Like we gotta stop talking about having these conversations as if it's just men out here that just doing everything for pussy when hey, women are doing the exact same shit. Like they love it. Like, come on. We talking about Jada Pinkett right here. Like, come on. That's like
See, Danica think life gonna catch up to these hoes, but for real, all the hoes, all the young hoes I know, they grew up to be old hoes, and they wasn't trying to change, so they wasn't looking for no protector and
yeah,
all that.
exactly.
They grow
Yeah.
up to be old hoes, and they stay in the game. So a lot
And
of
And
them.
be miserable
just
in
cause you
real life.
married don't mean you
And be
just cause
miserable
you
in real
married don't
life
mean you
though.
ain't a hoe. Yeah.
But they be miserable in real life though. Let's not act like they don't.
Shit, all these hoes miserable. The ones that's on the pole and the ones that's at home with an apron on. A lot of them miserable.
Facts.
Everything ain't for
Yeah,
everybody. A lot
exactly.
of hoes is living their best life, man.
Facts.
Yes, they are. And then
And
they
the
getting then
older
they getting to
niggas
this
get,
bread too.
and the older niggas get, the more they willing to let that change go too. So
Right.
Hey, but we've been men
Yeah,
been
and then yeah.
because our recognized gang had said this earlier, and I just remember because it's when the ladies was going bringing it up to him. He made a perfect good fact. Men actually will settle for women on all their many flaws, but women will not settle for at least one of their flaws. They will hold it
But check this
accountable.
out.
Yes,
Check this out. You got to think about the women that's out here coming up off of men's ignorance. A lot of these dudes don't know how to fucking date anyway. They don't know how to date. And
that's
that's why they
true.
having all these issues. And that's why they paying. Recognized Game said they be paying for years. Yes, because in their minds, there's no other way. What you
Yeah,
think
but
these niggas be talking about up and through these spaces? Game don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
I
You got to
already
give it.
been
It
there,
is
bro,
what
for
it
2 weeks
is.
straight, and
The
that's
dating
crazy now.
game. I don't care what nobody say. The dating game is perfect. It's perfect.
Really?
Y'all just don't know how to maneuver. You
What's
just
so
don't know
perfect
how to
about the
fucking
dating
maneuver.
game to you, all seeing eye?
You gonna get what you gonna get what you got. You gonna get what you work for. You gonna get what you work out here.
Facts.
Period. You gotta know how to move.
Correct.
That's it.
Facts.
Like it is what
So,
it is. You
so,
gotta know
so
how
are
to
you?
move. Cause think
So,
about
are
it. Why
you?
every time we had these conversations, think about it. Why every time we had these conversations is always the same shit. We always saying not all, not all, not all. Oh, but some women do it. Oh, but some men do that. You see what I'm
Facts.
saying? It's just more losers than winners. Just like life itself. That's it.
Facts.
So you
it's
That's
saying,
it.
all saying I that these are dumb hoes. They're not smart hoes.
No, 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 no. He didn't say that.
Some
No,
you ain't
meaning
got
in the
you
sense
ain't
of not being smart about their hoeing. That's what I mean.
No, he's talking about the game.
it's just a
Oh,
numbers
okay.
game.
Yeah.
It's a numbers game. That's all it is. It's a numbers
bro,
game,
it's
bro.
it's, it's
Whoever
survival
catches
of the
it,
fittest.
catches it.
It's
Duck
survival of the
goose.
fittest, and that's why when you see
Duck goose.
if you talk to the guys that's actually winning the game that he's talking about, they don't have these same conversations that a lot of these
I
cats
damn
think
sure
they
don't.
have.
I'm
I
polygamous.
don't
That's
I
either.
what
I, I don't. I don't
look,
have these
listen,
problems, bro. I'm good out here. I'm told you.
listen.
I'm telling you. I'm
I've
22,
actually
bro. I'm
I've
only
actually
22.
brought some of these conversations to my partners, and we crack up and laugh about this shit.
Yep.
So it's perfect because it's survival of the fittest. The strong
Check this
survive,
out.
and the weak
Check
is on
this out.
YouTube crying about shit.
Man, look,
Hey,
a
check this
woman,
out.
any woman with 3 to 5 men in rotation could get really, literally could get rich out here. There's so much simping going on. A woman with the right
Yes.
rotation could really, y'all call it the dating market. That's really the dating market. Like a woman, she ain't even got to be
Yeah.
on the pole. She could literally get rich off these dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And men, you know what I'm saying? And men and women, we're more polygamous than anything. I don't care what you say, but people out here sacrificing to be monogamous. They're sacrificing, but motherfuckers ain't really monogamous like that. I don't care what you
What they
say.
sacrificing though? What they sacrificing?
I'm gonna stick with this one person. I ain't gonna look out. I ain't gonna look over here. I ain't gonna look over there. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna do
So
my
how's that losing? How's that
or I'm
losing?
gonna, hey, sheesh,
If somebody chooses to
man,
be like that, how's that losing?
you
I
gotta
well, I would
To
I would
have,
say
it
hold
takes
on,
work.
Wait a minute. We have
wait a
to
minute,
go one at a time.
to have
It
body
takes work.
discipline and have a sense of commitment to somebody. How is that losing when that person chooses that? And the
I
whole
mean,
thing about this whole polygamy thing, polygamy really is just a one-sided thing. Only the person who believes in that considers polygamy to be a good thing. Because I know a lot of
you ain't
people
gotta
in
be
polygamy
polygamous to win,
relationships
though.
where
You ain't
it's a
gotta be polygamous
one-sided
to
thing. Where
win.
the one person who has two people, they won't let the other two people have nobody. That's
You
not
gotta,
polygamous.
you ain't gotta
That's
be polygamous
bigamy.
to win. So don't even try to put that in my mouth. So I mean, you asked me a question.
No,
Don't
no,
keep
I
talking
ain't saying
after
that.
me.
I
Like,
ain't saying
come
it is.
on.
I'm just saying as far as polygamy go, you said that people were polygamous by nature, and I'm like, how so? That's not polygamy. Just because you found somebody attractive doesn't mean that you have to go be with them. Maybe you can just
Hey,
see somebody that's fine and like move on with your day. Keep on
how many
focusing on
ver-
what you need to, right?
how many versions can you find, sir?
You
Oh
don't have to be a
God.
virgin.
Y'all
Who,
talking
who
about
said it had to be a virgin?
child. Wait.
Anybody talking about no virgins?
Wait, hold up. Let my homegirl up in here to set this off. Danica, what are your thoughts on the conversation? I'm sorry, Danica does get first, like she get privileges over here. So
Oh, we know,
y'all don't be mad.
we
Okay.
know, we know.
What's up, y'all?
We fuck with
Hey,
Danica.
So,
Fuck is you
Danica.
talking about?
What's
hey,
good,
hey,
Danica?
hey. Can you guys hear
We
me?
fuck with Danica, nigga.
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you
we
Yeah,
can
just
hear you.
I
fine.
hear you.
Okay. So, I wanted to jump in to where you guys were talking about, there's old hoes out here and they choose to be this way. Y'all have got to stop the cap. Y'all think that they really want to be hoes. It's a front. They no
Facts.
longer have access to the men that they want, so they embrace it and act like they are fine when they are
You
really
just
Exactly.
not.
contradicted yourself. You said
Mm,
Um,
embrace it.
embrace. Yeah, okay.
Hold up.
listen, just listen to me.
Let her finish real quick.
I
She meant to say
apologize.
accept, not embrace,
They're
accept it.
All right. Let her finish real quick, y'all. Let's see what she's saying.
okay, so they accept it, all right. But the bottom line is they have to pretend like they're okay when they're really not. There's no such thing as a happy old hoe. Like, stop. Female nature is undefeated. No woman wants to be a pass around. Period. And so what they have tricked you guys into believing is, I'm perfectly fine with this life. I chose this life. I don't want you men anyway. Y'all don't know how to do X, Y, and Z anyway. This is why I choose this. No, the reality of it is the men that they really want don't want them. So to save face, I have to pretend
Yep.
like I'm okay with this.
See,
Just like a man
Can
gotta
I
pretend
speak
okay
on
with
that?
being with a
my,
trick.
my
You know
Speak
what
on that real
I'm
quick.
let me add to that real
All
quick.
right, go ahead.
From my experience, a woman who is a hoe when she in her early 20s, she end up being an old hoe, and she out here shaking and moving. She not doing this because she don't want to. She a hoe, and that's how she live her life. So she gonna be happy when she 20. She gonna be happy when she old, cause she not getting passed around. She passing these niggas around. See,
Hmm.
she
saying? I
doing what
date
she
older women,
do.
G.
She got control of the situation, cause these subs and these tricks is like bait to her. She
Yeah, but
getting
it's
it how she live.
interesting. I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? The whole getting it how she live. Now everything ain't for everybody. Now if you find a woman who actually want to be in a relationship, then maybe she wouldn't be happy because everybody remember, she got a lot of niggas on her jacket. But
Hmm.
most of these hoes is not thinking about that. That mindset don't just change with age. These hoes is hoes for a reason. And
I beg
everybody
to
got their
differ.
place. Everybody got their
I
place.
see it. I
It's,
see
it's
it up
just
Yeah,
Yeah,
close and
but
I've seen
Miss
it
personal.
too.
Miss
Yep.
Marie, Miss Marie, can I interject on one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is kind of silly in some conversation because we're speaking from our own personal ideologies on certain things. When you say I see it, you're only seeing a small part of what you see in your circle, right? So with that being said, I will say this: when you say about they're settling because of this, they're settling because hey, my man all seeing my guy 80K, 100K, and he's doing everything else, but he didn't check maybe one box for that woman. Me, I might not have the money, but I check everything, all the other boxes, like quote unquote the good guy, the faithful guy, the quote unquote the Will Smith guy. Now I got that battery in my back, the stress. Now I already settled when I saw her. Man, Miss Marie is beautiful. Man, Miss Marie is doing everything for me. But reality check is she's really not. Like RG just said, he may he may not love her, but he respect her. He may not respect her, but he love her. It's weird how we conflate those two. So women that have these 80K, 100K high quote unquote high value men and talking about, oh well, I'm just dealing with it. No, you can't. If you're saying one woman got that rotation, get in the bag, get your hustle, I'm all down for that. But if you really want these men or that man for you or woman for you, move out that bag life, get your game on, get what you need to get, and move on. But now you're in your 40s, your 50s, and you're still on the whole side, you make yourself look silly. And then you get mad and have an attitude with everybody else. Why are you calling me out? Well, it's right here on IG, it's right here on YouTube, it's right here on Facebook. You're literally doing it in your own neighborhood, your own backyard. You're bringing it to your house home. It's retarded.
Hey, great pill. Check this out.
Yeah.
Married women know how to not get caught too. So,
bruh,
those are the lucky ones right there, because you got the best of both worlds, and you know how to not get caught. Like I said, women have whole phases while married, my nigga.
I just want to say, man, hoe is a what's the name, man? It's a mentality. It ain't a person. It's a mentality. So when people be saying hoes, because Negroes can be hoes too. So it's not just a female, a hoe. Like females are the epiphany of hoes. No, it's a mindset. It's when you feel like it's when you overvalue yourself and you think everybody want a piece of you. And then when you young, yeah, everybody want a piece of you because you got a box. So like I heard somebody say earlier, a female can go to Walmart, it's some sweatpants and a rag tag around, you know what I'm saying, around the head. She still gonna get hollered at. You see what I'm saying? But see, the thing about it is though, when it comes to that, when they get all they can when they're young, and then when they get older, then they start reflecting back on the good dudes that they went across and they did them wrong, or they didn't want to be with them because of this. I don't see females like that. A couple of my aunties is like that. All of a sudden, when they get older, now I miss John. John was a good man. Well, why the fuck you were still fucking other dudes then? If he was such a good man, you know what I'm saying? So really,
a lot of the hoes end up getting married. And they still be hoes, you know, just because.
That's what I'm saying. I just said it. Married women know how to not get caught. That's
exactly.
what I said.
Yeah, but you know what? As a married woman, y'all not gonna sit over here and act like married women are worse than your average everyday 304 out there trying to give it up. And y'all need to stop because that is so much cap. No, but the way y'all are talking about it, the way it's been kind of relegated is, well, you know, married women be just as big of hoes as the single women, and it's just your time. That's a crock of shit.
I agree with that. That's cap.
She might have been a 304 last week. You don't agree with
that? I don't believe that.
George, you don't agree with that?
I don't agree that majority of women that are in a marriage are out there trying to see what it's heading for. I don't.
I can kind of debunk just a little bit of that.
Monkey branch came from?
Yeah, I can debunk just a little bit of that. Exactly. I can debunk just a little bit of that. Okay. You telling me as a married woman, and I'm not trying to put your personal business out there, but you telling me as a married woman, when you're away from your husband, you do not use your feminine wiles or not aware or woke of your feminine wiles that you're going to get something out of it for free.
Okay, so if you're talking about my feminine wilds, what exactly do you think I should be using my feminine wilds for? If I go to the store and I can't reach something, I'm not going over to the next guy I see to shake my titties at him to ask him to grab something for me.
All right, now you've been a little extreme.
No, I'm saying like, so what? Give me an example. Give me an example of you. Wait a minute. Let him give me an example of what he's talking about, because I want to hear, like, how does a married woman use her feminine wiles when she's not with her husband?
All right, well, I don't know you personally, so I'll just say like this. All right, do you know how to change a tire?
No.
Okay,
but I have AAA.
Okay, that's one. That's one right there. Just to give an example.
But they still
if a stranger, so if I got a flat tire and I called my husband and my husband wasn't able to get to me right in time, and I called AAA, and they weren't able to get to me for whatever reason. So you think I just go up to the side of the highway and stick my leg out and be like,
that's what I'm
come
saying. You've
change
been
my
extreme.
No,
You've been
Sister George,
extreme.
what we're
on.
saying
You've been
is,
extreme.
no, hold on, Sister George. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I was watching
Take
this
it home.
video. Dude was sitting there with a calculator. He said, like, how many times do y'all get approached a day? Cause I watched this video where it's like, if you get approached 4 times a day, that's like 1,300 dudes a year, and no woman is turning that down. I'm sorry, with all I'm sorry, but like how many dudes approach y'all in like a day or something like that?
They're not
Enough.
gonna answer
Yes,
that with
but
a straight
remember,
I
face.
mean,
They're not gonna answer that with
How
a straight
many
face,
approaches
bro.
do they give a fuck about? That's the
They're
real
not
but
gonna
question.
answer that
listen,
with a
Think
straight
the
about
face.
a few
men,
12 years. Think about a few 12 years in, and you just tired of certain shit, or you just want to. Well, I ain't gonna get caught. Like, come
but listen,
on,
I want
yo.
to let
Like,
me
you
But
jump
didn't
in
you
there.
did it once
that's
or
a
I want to
twice.
make a
rationality, and that'll
point.
be a whole mindset right there.
Come on,
That's
Listen, guys.
irrationality right there.
Wait, hold up a second. Because what I think men don't understand is that women are get yelled at they're 14, 15 years old. So 14,
Exactly.
15, 16 each year. So
exactly.
you think that we care in the sense that, oh, this is something new? No, women is used to men.
Exactly.
Can I?
We're used to being hollered at. So
Can I?
it's not.
Okay, you just said it right there. That's the answer. You just said
But
you get validation all the time. Men do not.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah,
like it's like that little candy store theory,
that's true.
and I hate the question. Okay, so you're aware of that, right? The
Yeah.
fact that you're aware of, so you're tired of eating the same candy. The same candy keep coming at you. Men is not gonna have that same appetite.
they
So
keep
that's why it goes back to the
underestimating.
whole scenario. Men is gonna get it when they get it. You know what I'm saying? A man gonna lie like the earlier in the conversation. A man, well, simple, whatever you want to call it. Not at the times a man's gonna sit there and tell another woman, like, hey, I'll tell you just to tell you whatever, just to hold you long enough to keep getting that good box from you. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
He's
All
tell
right,
not
y'all.
gonna
I'm
really
gonna
let
tell
all
that
right,
y'all
I'm
yo,
what
gonna
let
go
me,
ahead.
somebody
let
Let
me,
me
somebody
say this
yo,
real
told
quick.
hold
me.
Hold
up,
on. Let me
hold
say this
up.
real
I'm
Let
gonna
quick.
me
tell
ask,
y'all what
hold up,
somebody
hold up.
Let me
told
just say
me.
this real quick. Hold on. I just cause I before
I'm
I
gonna tell
forget.
y'all what
I'm
somebody
gonna just
told me.
hold on. Let me tell you what this is, man. Because the whole thing is the whole mentality is this. Just like I've told females, if a man got to go out there and he gotta garner attention. He got to do something to grab that attention. A female doesn't. So if the difference between a hoe that's out here and don't have nobody and these hoes that are well, y'all call them hoes, but a wife. The difference between her being a wife and just being a hoe with a ring is her avoiding the attention that she's gonna automatically get. That
Yes,
shows that you're committed
Exactly.
to somebody else.
yes.
All right, hold up. All right, look. Let me ask Danica a question. Danica, do you have any girlfriends or family members, women that are married or have a boyfriend and they still hoes? They cheating on their man and you know about it, but he don't know about it.
I do not.
Oh,
At,
So this is
I wouldn't even say yes to that shit if you asked me that shit.
No, but
at,
the thing
I
about me
just
is,
wouldn't.
no,
Sorry,
check
Cap.
sir.
this out, y'all.
Sorry, sir.
Ask
I
Sister
wouldn't
Listen,
even
George.
say
Wait,
listen.
yes.
The
wait,
thing
let her
hold
about
on, let
answer.
her
Let her
answer, y'all.
answer.
Let her answer.
Don't
oh
ask on no
Lord,
public
goddamn.
platform.
The thing about me is though, I don't hang with females that are not on the same page or accord as me.
But everybody else
So
do.
personally, no, I do not. I do not hang with females
I'll
that
second that too. With
No,
with
I'm
the
saying
yeah.
everybody else
yeah,
do
I
though.
don't hang with
both
females
my friends.
that present like that or behave that way. None of the sort. So in
Think of,
my personal case, no, I do not.
but think about it. Why you think men are frustrated? Why you think they always say, "Oh, I don't want you going to the club," or "I don't want you wearing this type of dress," or "I don't," that's gonna bring attention. Like, come on, come on
But
now.
you
That's where all
don't
these
think
debates come from.
you don't think it's a certain type of thinking that you guys have to where your woman isn't going to garner attention. Most men pick the woman that they like off of how that woman looked,
Yep,
because you guys see with your
yep,
eyes first. So
yep.
it is your nature to give a woman attention, and so you think after you give her attention that she's never going to get attention from anybody else. How is
That's
that
not the
Right.
supposed to
point,
work?
though.
And
That's
that's what
that's
we're
not the
saying.
point. That's not the point. You supposed
You
to
gonna tell
avoid
me
it
she's
though.
never gonna bite back?
How
And
do
you gonna
you
tell me
No,
she's
avoid
never gonna bite
attention?
back?
because you don't put yourself in a position to do that. Like I be telling folks all the time. Sometimes women don't be because the first defense is when you say, "Man, why you wearing that, man? You just trying to be out here looking like a thought." No, I'm wearing it for myself. You're a fucking lie. Because
Exactly.
Yep.
if that's the case, why you ain't wearing it in the fucking house then? Why I gotta look at drawers and goddamn
Exactly.
grandma's
What happened
shirts
to the
and
Gap
stuff?
sweaters and shit?
Come
Yeah,
All
on.
of a sudden now
okay.
you got to put on
Yeah.
booty tight
I gotta
jeans.
disagree with that.
It's
I gotta
different
Yeah,
disagree with
things
that
that
because
because
yeah.
Wait
like
a
you
minute.
can
We
have.
have to go one at a time.
Oh,
I
I'm
gotta
good.
disagree with that because a lot of times, if a woman, if she is moderately dressed, and I think that men are tired of women, dressing and in these clothes that doesn't fit or look kind of on the hoish side. So when they see a woman who's put together, they are interested, and they
You
they'll.
just proved this point.
You just prove my point. Exactly. You just prove my
Okay, so
point.
I'm
That's
just
Yeah,
what
saying.
I'm
y'all
saying.
been proving. Yeah, y'all
Because
been y'all
look,
been
if
proving
I see
points
a
all
chick,
night.
if I see a chick at Walmart, if I see a chick at Walmart and she has some jogging pants, I think she's just going to get some food. She probably don't want to be bothered. The way she
Fact.
dressed, she probably don't want to be bothered. But if I see a motherfucker coming to Walmart and she got on a goddamn club dress and it's damn Thursday, yeah, she wants somebody to look at her. She wants
Yeah,
somebody to
but
holler at her.
the
Hey, I
the
done
the
found a
But
lot
problem.
of gifts
what's
inside of a
wrong?
bonnet,
What's
my
wrong
boy.
with her wanting some attention? Though I ain't mad at that at all. Like I want a
the
woman to
thing the
feel
thing about the
comfortable
thing about it is the
doing
thing
what
about
she
it is if you
do.
are in a
Hold up,
committed
hold up, hold up,
relationship, if you're in a
hold
committed
up, hold up.
relationship,
Yeah, but
then the thing is that you're supposed to avoid extra. I ain't say she can't have
Exactly.
regular,
yeah,
like you said, she's a
but
regular woman. They're gonna always get attention, but when you put yourself out there to gain extra attention, now you're trying to be out
nine
there.
times
It's,
nine
Hey,
times
women
out of
look good in
10,
regular shit, bro.
9 times out of 10, a
Period.
woman that dresses however she dresses, she was doing that when you met her. So if
Yep.
you was
If she's
accustomed to that
single,
and
was
that
she single?
attracted you to her, I don't see why there should be a problem with a
Okay,
woman
so let
who
me let me
has
let me
sex
let me use your
appeal
logic.
who's
Let me use your
dressing
logic real quick. Let me use,
in a
let me use
woman
your
Women
logic
look
real
good
style.
in
quick. So
shit that they
hold
don't
on,
even
hold on, hold
think
on.
they
Let me
look
let
good
me say
in.
this. So okay, let's put it on the female. Okay, the female she met this dude. This dude was splurging. He was balling. She met him in the club. He was buying at the bars and stuff. Now they in a relationship. They've been in a relationship for 6 months, and he tell her, hey, I'm about to go hit the club. And she know what he do when he hit the club. He be around a lot of women. He be throwing a lot of money around. Should she have a problem with that because that's how she met him? That's what he did when they first met.
I mean, she shouldn't have a problem with it if
Why
she
she
in a
shouldn't?
relationship with him, but she
Because
probably
why she
will.
shouldn't?
I mean,
Because
that's
she
that's just her
because he looking
emotional.
for extra attention. He's looking for attention, and especially when it comes from a dude.
Going
If
to
you're doing that,
club.
you got a girl at home. You look no, you're going to the club and throwing money like you're a baller or you're a bachelor. It's what you
If
look, is what you present to yourself.
But men be
It's a
looking
whole
for
thing about
attention,
perception.
though.
yeah, I
Say it
mean,
again.
go ahead, Naeem.
I was saying men be looking for attention when they wear those gray sweatpants.
Ooh, mine
Hey
can't leave
man,
out the house.
We
Hey, a
already know about
woman
the gray
look good in
sweatpants.
regular.
ain't nothing
Hey,
you
a
do about
woman
that.
look
You
good in
thought about
regular
that.
shit,
Wait a
bro.
minute. Let me read this super chat. Shout out to Jack Spade. He says that there are people out here who don't want to be crackheads or meth heads, but we judge them based on what they are, not
Damn,
what they want to be.
damn.
Thank you so
It's
much
part of
for that,
history.
Jack Spade. Let me get you 90s Man Urban News Channel and then Eugene Steele. 90s Man, what are your thoughts?
Okay, real quick. As far as if a woman's what was the question again? If a woman is a hoe, if she likes being a hoe or something,
No, how do you stop a woman from hoeing? How do you stop these 304's from winning? How do you stop it? Is there
well
a
you
way to stop them from winning?
well, you can't stop nobody from doing a damn thing. So let them do what they want. Just go find one that ain't hoeing, unless you think all women are the same.
They
But
do.
You're gonna be
as far
hard
as
pressed to find one of them.
as far as women winning in general, or if they like being hoes, like it worked for Cleopatra, it worked for Dorothy Dandridge, it worked for Marilyn Monroe. So I
I
don't
don't
see
know if
what
it
the
worked
big
for
deal
Marilyn
is,
Monroe. I don't remember. No.
huh?
I don't know if it worked for Marilyn Monroe. She ended up somewhere. They found her somewhere.
Yeah,
Maybe
she overdosed.
she probably been cool with a you know what I'm saying with a store manager. She probably lived a little bit longer.
It's a bunch of conspiracy with how she died, but so that's not. I can't even speculate if because
I
she
mean,
just
look,
home.
is a woman a hoe if she got a new boyfriend every 6 months? Every
No,
year
she's
she
doing
got
what the fuck she
two,
want to
three
do.
different
If she, you a
boyfriends.
hoe if you
I
married
mean,
and
that's
doing
a
it.
hoe.
She's a hoe if she's married and doing it. If she owes obligations to a man. You can
Like,
do what
like I
the fuck
said,
you want to
it's a
do when you
mentality.
single.
It's a mentality. Yeah, it's a mentality. If a girl got a new boyfriend every 6 months, I mean, she's not happy with herself. That's a mentality thing, and she's scared of commitment.
And she fucking.
She might not be
Yeah,
scared of commitment. She might
Yeah,
not
she.
want to commit.
I mean,
It's
and that,
2022.
a
Some women
woman
don't
that
no,
want to be in
got
but if you're in a
relationships.
relationship with a new dude every 6 months, you don't why be in a relationship at all. Just be fucking the same dudes. Because a
I'm
lot of
just
dudes, like you said, a lot of dudes are cool with a female just smashing them anyway, right? So if she decides to commit to a relationship where y'all both consider each other to be y'all boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever the fuck y'all are, if you do that every 6 months, The person who is breaking up every 6 months, unless it's the other person's fault. I mean, it's a female, and most females in relationships because they be like, I can't do this no more, or you're not giving me what I want, and they go out and they try to find something else. And
Well, a
then
lot.
6 months later, they come out to find out that the common denominator is them.
See,
Facts.
a lot of women wouldn't think that that particular type of woman that is always in a relationship, a couple different men in a year, she's in a whole relationship. A lot of women don't think that that's a hoe. So, like, what is a hoe? Should we maybe we should get into that because a lot of
It's I,
women
I I said
have
it. It's a
had
mentality.
20, 30 different boyfriends.
Yeah, Solo said
It's
it
a
perfect.
mentality.
Yeah, Solo said it perfect, bro. But it comes down to your individuality. What you want, you go for it. If you don't want to be bothered, don't deal with it. If you're a woman and you claim that you're in an exclusive relationship, act it. The same way the guy claimed that
Hmm.
he want to be in an exclusive relationship, get out them bars, get out them clubs, act, walk the walk, talk the talk. That's it.
Yep.
You can't wait.
Yep.
You cannot wait until you engage. You cannot wait till you move into the house. You cannot wait till you married. You should have been already had that plan of time. You said, "Hey, okay, I'm out getting that attention. I'm out in these bars, guys and girls. Okay, bet I'm in an exclusive relationship. Let me act the part. Let me play the part. That's it."
Let me ask you this: is the independent woman who strategically, for throughout the duration of their career journey, strategically single for maybe 20 years, she's going to have a man. She usually those women usually have so many different men in their past. By the time they get to where they believe they should get married when they turn 40 something years old, are they hoes too?
I would say no. I'm gonna be fair both ends. I would say they're independent on their right because guys take care. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I mean, if you were strategically single and you've had so many casual sexual partners over the years during your whole plight to attain your career goals, now when you want to get married and you're 40 years old, you look back on about 50, 60 men that you done ran down on.
Good man.
Is that respectable? Is that the woman that these high value men are looking for when this woman finally becomes high value herself? Is she still a hoe? Is
This
she
is the
unchaste?
thing. You know what? I think the older a woman gets, the older a man gets, is certain things that go out the window. If you're still at an age to where you really care about public perception and how you're seen in the world and how people look at you and your spouse, most women, when they get to a certain point, don't tend to carry themselves in a very hoe-like manner the more they age. Most women, when they get older, generally become more respectable as they get older. So I don't think that a woman, as she gets older, I don't think she still carries herself the same way. So as they get older, I don't think it really matters much.
But if she got 60, 70 bodies, right? Let's just keep it a bean. If she got the white dress on. She done threw the high heel hoe boots in the closet. She done hung them up. But now she's ready to get married. Now she's acting like somebody who's presenting herself as a wife potential. Somebody got
Who
mute
is
up.
that playing in
Somebody
the
got another
The
background?
device on.
background.
Okay, that was
All right,
maybe
cool.
Smith.
So now she looking back and she got about 60, 70 bodies because over the last 20 years, she been trying to be the CEO or trying to be regional director somewhere.
Um,
I want to hear the other women answer that question because that's a good question because I think that you're the only one married on the panel, Miss
no,
Sister.
actually, Danika's married, and I think Naima was married once upon a time.
Okay, I would love to hear their thoughts on that question.
This is why the body count conversation is stupid.
Let
In the
me read
first
this super
place.
chat real quick. A shout out to Dr. Thunder. He says, if you met her in the street, then you can't be surprised when she acts like she's from the streets. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Thunder. Danica, do you want to take a shot at the question?
He's asking when somebody is putting off relationships to pursue their career, but they're racking up bodies. Does that make her a hoe?
Yeah, basically to
Yep.
put it in
Yep.
context, I just think that the lifestyle and the numbers and the frequency of casual sex is kind of the same. It's comparable to women who just really out here for the street. I mean, it's kind of the same type of flow. So
Mhm.
should they be respected the same when they're ultimately they become somebody who's ready for marriage and they've attained all their career goals? Should the high value man, or any man for that matter, ignore all the bodies because of her career achievements? Because they seem to be in the same category as far as numbers.
Me personally, I believe that body count does matter. So, I mean, in my opinion, I mean that would still classify her as a hoe, whether she was accomplished or not, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It seems to be a simple question, but a lot of the women who have ultimately attained all of their career goals, and they feel like they've been this independent woman, and they've been strategically single over the course of their career. Today, they present themselves as a great catch, but in all actuality, you for the streets. You
Right.
You know
respectable at
what
work,
though?
but out here, you for the streets.
And shout out to Auntie Wanda, because
Right. I
the
was getting ready
question
to say
that
that
I'm
too.
trying to figure out is, how can you determine how many bodies a woman have?
Right.
Most of y'all don't. You're not going to be able to feel your way in the vag and say, you go in the vag and it leaves a ring there of like a tree. It
Right.
doesn't
Yeah.
work like that.
No, exactly. Because we not
It
supposed
is
to.
stupid. Yeah, it is stupid. Can I?
Yeah, I would
Wait a
actually.
minute, let him
I'm
finish.
sorry.
Yeah, I would actually advise against even concerning yourself with somebody's body count, because this is a question for the individual who has that body count. I'm just asking what your perception. Only the individual would know, because they have
Right.
their own perception of what a hoe is. But then I like to turn the question around on myself when I point the finger at other people, and look at my own behavior. And I'm just suggesting that women who claim that a woman who's quote unquote a 304, who is clearly out here for the streets, and she putting it she putting it out there that you got to pay what you weigh. But there's another class of woman who's literally doing the same thing, but just being more candid about it. So at the end
But
of the
you,
day, that's for you to reflect on your own behavior. I
but
I, I don't get into body counts. That's stupid to even ask.
And that's
Nobody
why I
can tell
said
you
that's why I
about
said
it.
to me it matters. So for my own personal sake, like I pride myself on knowing that I have not been out here in these damn streets. But honestly, nobody would know. Nobody can be able to determine, oh, well, she's telling the truth or she's lying. So ultimately, it's just something for you, for yourself to pride yourself on. Because
right.
either way, people are going to have their own opinions about it. They're going to think you lying or they're going to take your word on it. At the
Yep.
end of the day, it's about what you know, and
Yeah,
do you find pride in that? And that's really what it boils down to. Because honestly, nobody would know.
yeah, and most people that are from this, if they say that the woman is from the streets, then people know she's from the streets because people, the men talk. So that woman that's in the streets, oh, they'll know she's in the streets. Yeah,
But
Yeah,
not
because
not even that neither. It's like how you
sometimes.
carry it, and that body thing. Like I said, it's very cringy. Just for the individual, but also it's how you carry yourself. Like you can actually just tell, like, okay, well, clearly she got some bodies because she's still like Solo said earlier. You're every other 3 months, every other 6 months, you're out and about. Like that's how you carry yourself. Again, guys too. I don't want to get into that, bro.
There's no such thing. There-
Yeah, it is
there's no
dumb.
such
It's
thing.
dumb.
I, I wouldn't even care.
That's interesting. Shout out to Cold Steel. He says, in my opinion, men win by getting them to do favors and never promising hoes strict monogamy. The love has to be conditional. Thank you so much for that. That was an interesting comment. But we're going to start wrapping this conversation up. This was really interesting. I think it's probably gonna be our lane, and we're gonna dive off into some more topics like this. But this was a good build. Eugene, we never did hear from you. What are your thoughts? I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Three things. Number one, men really need to start exercising good dick discipline. Okay.
oh,
Now,
good dick discipline. Okay.
yes, dick discipline. let me tell you something. If a man is really serious about looking for a girlfriend or a wife, that means he really needs to change his mindset about um, doing dick discipline. Now, if you're not, if you don't want to get married or have a girlfriend, fine, go out there, screw as many hoes as you want. But once you're in the objective of finding a girlfriend or a wife, I'm sorry, you can take it out right now. That's number
I
one.
got a confession.
Yes, sir.
So I hooked up with this chick and whatnot. And soon as we got done, she getting dressed, talking about some, oh, I gotta go. You didn't ask me if I had a boyfriend or not. And I ain't looking for a woman. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about for real? Like, we gotta stop talking about cheating like it's just men doing it. Are you trying to say they gay? You trying to say they fucking the men? Cause they fucking somebody that y'all ain't trying to have no accountability to. Period. And that's all
Facts.
I gotta say.
Right, right,
And it's like that out here.
right. Now, the
We don't know
second
who these
point,
women are married or not. And if she rocks with you, she gonna make sure that you don't know about that shit.
right. And the
Come on,
second
man.
point I want to make is actually to the women. Okay. First, women, if they have a man, okay, if they have a man, be the woman that the man picks you to be. Okay. If, you know, if he has a high sex drive or something, you got to do something, to please that man because if you don't, that's when he's going to go out and cheat. Okay? Okay? And also and then too, for both men and women, you know, if you're in a relationship, guess what? The sex is there. Okay? You don't need to go outside a relationship to get it. All right? That's the whole objective. That's only one of the objectives of a relationship, to satisfy each other. I mean, the sex is all right there. Now, that was the second point. The third point, if you have kids, okay, make sure you tell them about the birds and the bees. And I mean, lately, what happened to the birds and the bees all of a sudden? It seems like, that's out the window now. Okay. If they could do all these three things, let me tell you something about hoes. Okay. Hoes or anybody has a high sex drive, they're looking for that pleasure. Okay. They want that feel good aspect of sex.
Hoes want money, man.
Hoes want money.
Hoes
That's,
want money.
oh, yeah. And that's so true too.
Yeah, sex
Hoes,
is too easy to get, sir.
yeah, hoes want money. And then too,
Y'all
hoes
gotta
want
study
money.
human nature, dog. For real. Men and women. Y'all gotta study human nature because all this, oh, having morals and doing shit right. We have a nature. We do bad shit, bro. We can be good people. Yeah, we good people, but we do a whole lot of fucked up shit that we take into the grave, and it is what it is.
Facts.
Nobody's better than nobody else. Just because you married don't mean you better than everybody else. Just because you out here living your life don't mean you better than everybody else. Period, dog. Like it is what it is, man. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
yeah, we have a nature.
Watching too much Disney Channel.
No, it's not about Disney Channel. It's about self control. Self control is what it takes. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. All right.
What's
If
up?
you are really serious,
Bro, I already left church today.
if you're really,
Exactly. Damn.
yeah, if you're really serious about it, right?
Y'all gonna let Eugene get out his damn sermon if that's what he want to do.
Yes.
He
No,
just
Skip
sat
out.
here and
Yes.
waited and listened to all this bullshit.
Yes.
Eugene, let their ass know.
Right. Old head
Yeah,
trying to
if
They
lace
mad
us
Get
we
him,
with
they
these
yeah,
mad we
Eugene.
got
isms.
their
if
cards
you
on
are
today.
dead
They mad we seen
Look,
they
serious,
let old head lace us with these isms. Go ahead, OG.
yeah, if you are dead serious about it, I mean, you're gonna try your best, to control your sexual urges. I mean, that's what your boyfriend or girlfriend are for. Okay. Now, let me tell you something. If you do all these three things, all these hoes are out there, guess what? They're not going to have very many men to go out there and screw. They're not going to have a choice. Okay. So that's how we're going to keep the hoes from winning. It comes back down to us. That's all I got to say.
Well, right.
I think he brought up a really, really good point, a great point,
I do
because
too.
simps do have a lot to do with why these hoes are winning. Simps have more to do with a hoes winning than the hoes do with the hoes winning. Simps allow hoes to win, and the problem is y'all want to talk about Will Smith. But y'all won't even go and talk to your homeboy who been tricking off for the longest. Y'all don't know how much money he's
With
spending
y'all,
on
good
their
sister.
on that
With
raggedy
y'all.
bitch that he been with. Y'all don't know.
With
Nobody
y'all.
teaches men how to date. That's why we have a fucking manosphere.
Yes.
Damn.
A,
That's
Yes.
why y'all have a
Come
manosphere.
on.
a
Tear them
simp
Yes.
is a
apart.
hoe's
Uh-oh.
trophy. A simp is a hoe's trophy. That's what the hoes is here for. They looking for y'all. And y'all
Damn.
making yourselves real plain to see. There's a lot of y'all with your passports, and y'all don't think y'all simping when y'all get over there across the border.
All seeing eye recognize game. Avengers assemble.
Goddamn right.
Hey, we might have to. We might have
Hey, I
to.
fucks with him. No, I goddamn right. It is what it is. Like it is what it is, man.
Well, all
Period.
seeing I, what are your final thoughts on this conversation?
It's a good conversation. I feel like I feel like a lot of secrets was just dropped today. That's all. So how when men know what they talking about. The women kind of mute up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But yeah, but the thing is though, like I'm just like women are having a whole lot of sex out here. Like it is what it is, married or not married. And I just like I said, you gotta adapt. And me as a person, it is what I love women, and that's just it. Like if I can be in a whole relationship with a Cardi B or Rihanna, if I go to McDonald's and I see a chick that look like Megan Thee Stallion, I'm gonna say something. So I ain't about to walk around here talking about, oh, I only want to
No
be with
dick
you. I'm trying to
discipline
get
at
married and
all.
all that other
At
shit. Like I'm
all.
cool. Like
No
it
dick
Yeah.
is what it is. But
discipline.
that's how it is,
You
though.
can't even stop yourself from complimenting a random asshole that you see out on the street, and don't talk about these hoes no more.
No
Male's
more.
nature. It's called male nature. Something y'all don't give a fuck about.
Thank you all, seeing I.
I love the dude, man.
It's all about female nature. We got to deal with y'all shit, but y'all never want to study the men. This is why in college they only have fucking women's studies. But what
Yeah,
about the other
and you
side?
talking to women up here who got their degrees in men's studies.
That's
Now
false.
what?
Oh, oh yeah. But meanwhile,
Facts.
But
I can't
meanwhile,
I can't
what?
tell. I can't tell. It's a lot of complaints and shit, and niggas ain't
Oh,
shit, and
baby, I
They
don't
niggas ain't
complain about
that.
my
You know what I'm saying?
man.
Hey, it is what it
I
is.
don't
Hey,
complain about mine. I ain't never heard Danica complain about
Well,
hers.
you're
And
you're
you
married,
ain't
sister,
either.
so you winning right now. So I can't really speak on you.
yes, you winning.
the,
What about
the,
everybody else though?
these
Danica's
women
winning.
What
I'm
about
Naima's
married
everybody else?
winning.
happily.
these
I don't
women
know. I,
seem to be
I feel like I need
listening
to challenge
actively.
Maria.
The women up here are listening actively and
Actively.
engaging y'all in conversation about what you trying to actually kick to them.
If a
So
woman want to cut you off,
appreciate
that's
the
exactly what you
atmosphere
gonna do.
because that's how we gonna figure out if what you're saying is actually sticking.
Period.
So
If she want to cut you off, she
appreciate
gonna
the
cut your ass
atmosphere.
off. Period. It's
Well,
a panel
thank you so
discussion.
much, all seeing eye. We appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, but thank you though. I actually think you funny as hell though. You be roasting the shit out of Bernard Riley. It be pissing me off too. Like, goddamn,
Oh
nigga, if you
God.
don't say something,
Whoa,
like
what
nigga, if you
happened?
don't say something,
They
goddamn,
be
but you
kissing
just
him
clowning
off.
me,
That's
that I
funny.
be dying and shit. I wish we was cousins or some shit.
Listen,
Hey, for real.
that
But
effect on
yeah, it was.
people.
Thanks for having me on the show though.
Thank you, Aussie and I.
Yep.
Thank you. All right. Gray Pill Podcast. What are your final thoughts?
I agree with like I said, I came in to back up my boy recognized game. This was a honestly it was a really good conversation. And I say this a lot, even on my platform, is a conversation that needs to be had on both ends of spectrums. Perspective is key. Okay. Everybody need these tools, especially with men, to understand women a little bit more or just better themselves. women need to understand and relate more to men. We just can't be one-sided with the thoughts. I had one woman even say on a platform, say, "Hey, I is the manosphere open for women?" Immediately, I said no, because men don't want women in, but we realize women gonna come in regardless, right? So, but a woman said, "Hey," and this is a married woman, 20, 30 years in. She said, "But I go with the open mind to listen, take what I take, and bring it and equate it to my relationship." That's all men are saying right there across the board. Just open up and listen. Hear your man out. That's it. But I appreciate your guys. Thank you very much for allowing me on.
All right, bro.
Thank you,
Peace.
Great Pill. We appreciate you coming through. All right. 90s Man Urban News Channel. What are your final thoughts?
Enjoyed the conversation. I'm new to this podcasting world, trying to build up my presence on this YouTube thing here. I do urban news, mostly talk about problems in the black community, murders, deaths, general stuff like that, entertainment. And I enjoyed the show today. So thank you for having me.
We really appreciate you. Hopefully you'll come back through.
Thank you.
All right. Eugene Steele, what are your final thoughts?
Well, I'm a guy who's actually seeking to get married or get into a relationship, and when you think of one, you have to think about what can you do and what can you not do. I can't do that if I'm just screwing hoes you know back to back to back. My thing was always, when you're dating, don't let sex be your first priority. Try to get to know the woman first, and then, if you want to get to screwing, I mean, go right ahead. Um, both men and women have to think about, you know, if they want to get into a relationship or not, and if they do, they have to understand there are lots of things they have to sacrifice. That's my final thought.
All right. Thank you so much, Eugene. We really appreciate you coming through.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Danica.
Girl, y'all are off the chain, honey. Let me just tell y'all. I came in on the end of it. Whenever I sent in that super chat, that's when I came in. And
Yeah.
honey, already y'all are just a mess. I just been sitting here absorbing the information. Like these people are off the damn chain. Where everybody a damn hoe. Look, all I gotta say is thanks for having me. It's been nice, entertaining, and y'all are just funny. And of course, I'm going to continue to support the show. And shout out to all of you guys. Much success. Peace, y'all.
Thank
Thank
you,
Bye,
you,
Danica, for
Danica.
coming
Danica.
up. We appreciate that. It's always love over
Absolutely.
here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Naima, what are your final thoughts on the conversation?
Um, yeah, I just think that yeah, it's the holes will win, always be winning, in a sense, right? It's our perspective, right? So men will continue to pay, whether it's $40, because the $40 will add up, I guess. So whether they're willing to pay the $40 or the OnlyFans or whatever. Like I said, it's all perspective. So, but men will always want the need for um, female attention or female companionship in some sort of way. Now, which way? Yeah, we can discuss that. But in some sort of way, they will always want that woman's companionship in a sense. That's all I got to say on the matter.
Okay. What about you, RG?
304's winning. They always going to be winning. They always have been winning. I support them. Do you? Because there's always a simp looking to simp. That's a simping. The simp going to simp. So as long as the simping is going to simp and the tricking is going to trick, it's always going to be hoes winning. But me, I take them 18 to 80, dumb, blind, cripple, or crazy. If the hoe can't walk, I drag her. I don't love none of them. I treat all of them the same. The ones who choose up is the ones that can stick. That's just how that should go. If she wants you to pay that ransom, If you the tricking, go ahead and indulge. I don't tell nobody to stop doing nothing that they want to do. But as far as Jada and Will, Big Willie, yo, we gotta pull your coat, OG. Definitely. You got to make some changes in your lifestyle. But as far as these hoes is winning, they're gonna stay winning.
Okay. Well, my final thoughts are as long as there's a business of it, hoes are gonna hoe. If men are continuing to trick and to purchase and to simp and to do whatever, that's what's gonna always make the hoe continue winning. Men have to be held accountable for their actions when it comes down to it first, especially if they're the main ones complaining about the culture. Men have to have some type of discipline if they're the ones complaining about the culture and how they want things to be. But overall, I did think it was a great show. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have.
All
Okay.
righty.
All
This
right,
definitely
family.
was a good topic. I enjoyed myself, and I appreciate everybody who jumped on. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Definitely come back and see us again. We are back on tomorrow at
Look,
6 o'clock.
everybody that's in the building, we gonna do simp therapy. All right, simp therapy. A lot of y'all keep telling me that y'all just can't help but the simp. So we gonna cure you over here. Y'all make y'all way back over here. Tough Talk TV. I'm
All
late.
right, y'all. We out.
All righty. Peace. Have a good night, everybody.
All